Three
This is all just random syrups for a soda stream for making fizzy drinks.
But why do you have that next to your computer?
Because I also have this right next to me,
Okay.
and I also have a lot of bottles of water next to me. So I can just make drinks whenever the fuck I feel like it without leaving my desk. I literally buy water on Amazon with a 2-week subscription, so I have a constant supply of water next to my desk. So I don't have to get up and get it from the tap.
Okay.
That sounds like some untapped potential.
I berated Hivan the other day because he had been sitting down for 3.5 hours without getting up and taking a break or anything. But I guess you
amateur rookie numbers.
I sit for fucking hours.
Yeah.
I've just been sitting here all weekend.
How long?
It's supposed to be one of the worst things you can do for your health to sit still for long.
I don't actually plan to live past 30 anyway, so.
How long do you sit down per week if there's a new PoE league?
But with a new PoE league, I practically, like, at this point, I'm just going to buy a bucket to sit on. So I don't even have to get up.
Well, I mean, yeah, that sounds like the next logical step. Or maybe you'll just move your setup to your bathroom?
Nah, a bucket is much cheaper and easier to install.
Tubes.
Yeah, I was also thinking, but
just shove a tube at Mars, and just have a really long shit tube going all the way to my fucking bathroom, and just a hanging piece of string that goes on pulleys on my ceiling just to flush it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you get it to actually move there? Because it's mostly horizontal and not vertical movement. So
yeah, that's fine. I'll just take it out and blow into it.
I was just about to suggest that.
They push it down the ship until I hear a splash behind me.
Dude, I gotta say though, that idea fucking blows.
Oh.
Blows chunks.
Okay, I think we've lowered the level of intellect of discussion sufficiently for Bible.
Literally your mum.
What about her? Anything you would like to tell us?
I don't know. I don't know enough about her to make a relevant joke.
What a disappointment. What a letdown. That's what your mom told you, right?
You're a letdown.
I just called you a letdown already. That's not how that works, Teras. So, we're back to Bible. We all remember what happened last time, which is the Book of Job.
Would you like to buy a knitting kit and then do some competitive knitting?
That thought has not crossed my mind yet.
Oh. Fucking literally cannot.
Well,
imagine a competitive knitting stream.
Dude, Teras, I think you're getting something confused. I'm not good at knitting. I'm good at nitpicking.
I mean, I'd assume some skills are transferable.
You know what else is transferable? Your money to my bank account.
If anything, it goes the other way around.
No. That's all.
Give me all of your money.
So, last time we did the Book of Job, which I believe basically started with Job, who had a sort of perfect life. And then Satan told God, hey, Job only likes you because you're giving him an amazing life. I dare you to take it all away. And then Skytus was like, okay, sure. And then he took everything away. And then Job was just constantly complaining about how he wants to die and how his life sucks. And then some people visited him. And there was a discussion between like 5 people that just kept on monologuing for chapter after chapter about something. And I think they came to an agreement at the end, but I don't remember. I just know that it was tedious.
You stole my summary that I told you before we started the stream.
Who said that I stole it? I also remember because I educated myself.
Okay.
See,
That
I
is how
have
much I
absolutely no
remember.
recollection of anything you just said.
But isn't it pronounced Job? You said Job.
It's job now.
Okay, sure.
These guys, do you remember the picture I kept sending whenever we were talking about foreskins?
Wait. Do you have
Crunchy snack.
hold. Do you have a Sharpie?
Hold on. Yeah.
In Swedish churches, we say Job.
I have several.
Okay, take one, and then take the back where it said what was the brand name?
Hula hoops.
Okay. Just add a W.
Hula whoops.
Where?
Teras. You'll figure that one out.
Well, there's two. Which one?
Well,
would you like a whoops?
I mean, you could also go for a howler whoops, if you prefer that, or you could go for a howler whoops. But yeah,
Whoops. Right, okay,
just go for whoops, and then show that into the camera. Because I have an idea. I'm sure Cat Peasant will at least appreciate, if nobody else. Look! Look! It's Big Whoop from Monkey Island. Anyone remember?
Oh. It's really terrible.
I think we can move on. So would you like to add anything to the summary, or did I steal all of your summary? Do you remember what they argued about at all?
No, well, I think it was God stuff, wasn't it?
I think it was guidance related, but I don't remember who argued in what way or what.
Well,
if it's was it about how you should follow him, or I really don't remember anything.
I guess this could be totally false, but my understanding, I thought that Job was basically like the good guy, or the real Christian, and he was arguing for how to worship God, and the others were like, no, don't do it that way. This could be totally false.
No, this is what happened in the Bible. This is now canon.
Okay, sure.
Canon? Why are we fighting out of a cannon?
Eris, just because you're hungry doesn't mean this is canon fodder.
But I mean, it makes sense, like, right, it's the book of Job, so you would assume that he's the protagonist, and he's been arguing with his bad guys, and then they accept his version at the end. Maybe.
I guess it's time to make Teras suffer. Job 34. After proclaiming these things, Elionel had this to say. May the wise hear my words, and may the educated listen to me. For the ear examines words, and the mouth discerns foods by the taste. Let us do...
What a strange fucking sentence.
Explaining children how your ear and mouth work.
This is how your face works.
Well, the ear examines words. I was going to say, I guess it's more like the brain examines the words, but
no, you're wrong, and I can tell you why. Because they didn't have a brain back then.
Yeah, that's not been invented yet.
The mouth discerns foods by the taste. That feels more logical, but I guess that's also the brain, so, you know.
I mean, the brain plays a part in all of that, but
yeah.
the mouth, that one I can get more behind, but yeah, ears examining words is very weird. It examines sounds, but the brain puts them as words, or interprets them as words.
What he's saying implies that we don't actually hear the words, we just hear meanings. Yeah. Same way we don't actually taste the individual parts of our food, we just taste a sweet flavor.
Hula hoops.
Let us choose judgment for ourselves, and let us consider among us ourselves what is best. For Job has said, I am just, yet Skytus has subverted my judgment. For within my judgment there is a lie. My vehement barbs are without any sin. What man is there that is like Job, who drinks up derision as if as if it were water, who accompanies those who work iniquity, and who walks with impious men. For he has said, Man will not please Skytus, even if he should travel with him. Therefore, prudent men, hear me.
I'd like
Impiety
to
is...
please Skytus.
Leave Skytus out of this, come on. Impiety is far from Skytus, and iniquity is far from the Almighty. For he will restore to man his works, and according to the ways of each he will repay them. For truly, Skytus will not condemn in vain, nor will the Almighty repudiate judgment. What other is established over the earth? Or whom has he placed over the world which he made? But if he directs his heart towards him, he will draw his spirit and breath to himself. All flesh will fail together, and man will return to ashes. Therefore, if you have understanding, hear what is said, and heed the sound of my eloquence. Is he that does not love judgment able to be corrected? And how can you so mediocrely condemn him who is just? He says to the king, You are an apostate. He calls commanders impious. He does not accept the reputation of leaders, nor does he recognize the tyrant as he contends against the poor. For all the works are of his hands. They will die suddenly, and the people will be troubled in the middle of the night, but they will pass through it, and the violent will be taken away without a hand.
Teras.
Teras?
Can I trouble you in the middle of the night?
You know what, that yeah, if there's nothing important I need to do in the next day, sure.
Oh, wonderful.
Sounds like trouble in paradise. For his eyes are upon the ways of men, and he examines all of their steps. There is no darkness and no shadow of death, with one F, where those who work iniquity may be hidden. For it is no longer within the power of man to enter into judgment with Skytus. He will break into many innumerable pieces, and he will cause others to stand up in their place. For he knows their works, and, as a result, he will bring the night, and they will be crushed. Just as the impious do, he has struck them in a place where they can be seen. They, as if with mediocre diligence, have withdrawn from him, and they refuse to understand all his ways, so that they caused the outcry of the needy to reach him, and he heard the voice of the poor. For when he grants peace, who is there that can condemn? When he hides his face, who is there that can contemplate him, either among us, the nations, or among us, all men? He causes a hypocritical man to reign because of the sins of the people. Therefore, since I have been speaking about Skytus, I will not prevent you from doing the same. If I have erred, you may teach me. If I have spoken unfairly, I will add no more. Does Skytus require this of you because it is displeasing to you? For you were the first to speak, and not I. But if you know something better, speak. Let men of understanding speak to me, and let wise men listen to me. But Job has been speaking foolishly, and his words contain unsound teaching. My father, let Job be tested even to the end. May you not retreat from a man of iniquity, for he adds blasphemy on top of his sins. Nevertheless, let him be constrained to be amongst us, and then let him provoke Skytus to judgment with his speeches.
Okay, but so this basically confirms our recollection that they were having like a theological argument.
Skytus took everything away from him. He probably just decided, you know what, I hate Skytus from now on. And they're just telling him, no, you still gotta follow him and pray and everything. And he just argues no.
This thing about Skytus taking everything away from him, I guess that was probably before I joined.
Yeah, that was literally basically how the book started.
Yeah. But so why did he do that? Just the ways of
Satan
the Lord.
dared him.
Satan
he literally came up to Skytus and was like, hey, this guy loves you, but only because you give him everything that he wants. Take it away from him and he won't still love you. And then Skytus was like, no, he loves me. I'll fucking do it. And then he took everything away from him, like his wife, his child, and who knows what else. And then Job kept complaining about how his life sucks and he wants to die and just misery and everything. And basically the first half of the book of Job was just Job complaining. Like an entire chapter or multiple chapters of just words upon words about how miserable his life is and how he should just be killed in all these various ways. And Skylar should end his suffering and so on.
I'm guessing that really resonated with Teras.
I've got an idea.
Wasn't
How about you put little bits of text with our names on the corners of the camera?
What?
Why would I? I think he wants name tags for you.
So viewers know who's who.
Does it matter?
I prefer that the viewers know. I have figured out themselves that you are Skytis, I am Teras, and then we have Toa at the top.
I would prefer to be anonymous if possible.
Well, you should have thought about that about 9 seconds ago.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to edit this out. But okay, but is he still mad at Kaitis?
I think so.
Or,
I mean, he still hasn't gotten his stuff back, so I would assume so.
Okay, so basically my interpretation earlier was kind of wrong.
What did you interpret?
I thought that Job was the good guy who was trying to convince others to believe in
I guess. I mean, it depends always on your perspective, but I think if we assume that Skytis is the good one here, which is definitely a contentious point, but if we assume that, then I think, it seems like Job is not a devout follower, let's put it that way.
All right.
Job 35. After this, Elihu spoke again in this way. Does it seem right to you in your thoughts that you should say, I am more just than Skytis? For you said, having done what is right does not please you. And how will it befit you if I sin? And so I will respond to your words and to your friends who are with you. Look up towards heaven and consider. Also, think about the sky, which is higher than you. If you sin, how will it hurt him? And if your iniquities are multiplied, what will you do against him? Furthermore, if you act justly, what will you give him, or what will he receive from your hand? Your impiety may hurt a man who is like you, though your justice may help the son of the man. Because of the multitude of false accusers, they will cry out, and they will lament because of the strong arm of the tyrants. Yet he has not said, where is Skytis who made me, who has given songs in the night, who teaches us in addition to the Bistonians of the earth, and who educates us along with the birds of the air? There they will cry, and he will not heed them because of the arrogance of the wicked. Therefore, Skytis does not hear in vain, and the Almighty will look into each and every case. And so, when you say, he does not examine, be judged before him, but wait for him. For at the present time, he does not bring forth his fury, nor does he punish sin exceedingly. Therefore, Job has opened his mouth in vain and has multiplied words without knowledge. When does this book end again? I think we were close to the end. I hope so, because this is just stupid.
No, you.
Yeah, I confirmed, by the way, it looks like it's supposed to be pronounced Job.
Okay, so it's Job.
Not anymore.
Got it.
Yeah, see, I quite like this book because even though I have absolutely not a single half fucking clue what's going on, at least it's written a lot better than the rest.
That's funny because you literally gave it the equivalent of a standing ovation after the first few chapters. Because it was written so well. Like, Job's pitching was written so well that you actually pointed that out.
Yeah.
And then he just continued bitching, and I just kept getting more and more annoyed because he just wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I still have no idea what's going on, but I'm just enjoying the flow of the words.
Nice.
In comparison to what we had, is just this is just a masterpiece.
So you'd say they've done a good job writing this?
Would I?
Done a good job.
Joke's on you. Job 36. Continuing in a similar manner, Elio had okay, hold on. Weren't the last 2 chapters already after proclaiming this? Elio now had this to say. After this, Elio spoke again in this way. Continuing in a similar manner, Elio had this to say. And then what was the previous chapter? And Elio was angry. Therefore, Elio waited while Job was... Okay, now the previous one was Job, and then it's 3 chapters of Elio, apparently speaking. Okay. Continuing in a similar manner, Elio had this to say. Bear with me for a little while, and I will show you, for I have still more to say in favor of Skytis. I will review my knowledge from the Teras?
Yes.
What is... There's a typo in the Bible, you gotta fix it. I highlighted it. Job 36. From the beginning, and I will prove my Maker to be just. For truly, my words are without any falsehood, and perfect knowledge will be proven to you. Skytis does not abandon the powerful, for he himself is also powerful. But he does not save the impious, though he grants judgment to the poor. He will not take his eyes away from the just, and he continually establishes kings on their throne, and they are exalted. And if they are in captivity, or are bound with the chains of poverty, he will reveal to them their works, as well as their sinfulness in that they were violent. Likewise, he will open their ears to his correction, and he will speak to them so that they may return from iniquity. They listen and obey. They will fill their days with goodness and complete their years in glory. But if they will not listen, they will pass away by the sword and be consumed by foolishness. The false and the crafty provoke the wrath of Skytis, yet they do not cry out to him when they are chained. Their soul will die in
I've fixed it.
Yeah, I noticed. Good job. That's why you get paid. Their soul will die in a storm, and their life among us the unmanly.
Whoa, fucking hell, that came out of nowhere.
He will rescue the poor from his anguish, and he will open his ear during tribulation. Therefore, he will save you from the narrow mouth very widely, even though it has no foundation under it. Moreover, your respite at the table will be full of fatness. Your case has been judged.
Excuse me, what is that about the mouth?
I'm gonna put something in your mouth.
Therefore, he will save you from the narrow mouth very widely, even though it has no foundation under it. Moreover, your respite at the table will be full of fatness.
I'm not sure I get the imagery there. He will save you from the narrow mouth very widely.
You won't
even
get
though it has no
eaten
foundation under it.
by something, and instead he'll spread your something widely. I don't ask me.
No, I'm just curious.
Does Thor get paid for this job? Yes, he gets paid in exposure, and he gets to spend time with Teras.
Thank you. Oh yes.
Did you know that Thor streams on Twitch? There you go.
Don't say that.
I asked if they know, because if they do, then they're clearly delusional, because you don't. I'm just testing them.
Good.
Your case has been judged like that of the impious. You will withdraw your plea and your judgment. Therefore, do not let anger overwhelm you so that you oppress another. Neither should you allow a multitude of gifts to influence you. Lay down your mediocreness without distress, and put aside all of your power with courage. Do not prolong the night, even if people rise on their behalf. Be careful that you do not turn to iniquity. For after your misery, you have begun to follow this. Behold. In the beginning, there was a subscriber.
I will lick the gay.
Speaking of beholding.
I like the new sub gif.
I wanted to message you to point out that you should resubscribe or tell X to do it or something, but I completely forgot. But
No.
yeah, you were gonna find out at some point. You're welcome.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it's pretty good. I enjoy. That's Norgorn, no?
Who?
Exactly.
Skytis is exalted in his strength, and there is no one like him amongst us, the lawgivers, who is able to investigate his ways, and who can say, "You have done iniquity," to him. Remember that you are ignorant of his work, and yet men have sung its praises. All men consider him, and each one ponders from a distance. Behold! Skytis is mediocre, defeating our knowledge. The number of his years is inestimable. He carries away the drops of rain, and he sends forth showers like a raging whirlpool. They flow from the clouds that are woven above everything.
An interesting word.
I was just about to say, I'm sure Teras likes this. If he wills it, he extends the clouds as his tent, and shines with his light from above. Likewise, he covers the oceans with his tent. For he judges the people by these things, and he gives food to a multitude of mortals. Within his hands he hides the light, and he commands it to come forth again. He announces it to his friend, for it is his possession, and he is able to reach out to it. Wait, so Skytis owns light?
Well, he created it, so
Yeah.
I'd assume there's some kind of copyright going on.
Okay, and if you create a child, you own that? Several thousands of years later?
Well,
I mean
probably.
that's more of a living being thing. He didn't fuck someone and light came out. He just made it. Like when you make a painting, it's different.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe light is just some kind of living entity as well. We just haven't figured it out yet.
Didn't they used to think that light was some kind of living thing? But I mean, doesn't God technically own everything anyway?
Wow.
Is that
You've just proven that he's a slave driver. Damn.
well,
That's not that far from teachings of the Bible, so
That's where I was
God's
trying to go
children.
with that. Own isn't the right word. Well, which word would you choose then? Overlook? I mean, that might be a little.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that either. Like, well, I just did, so I guess I would.
he's just the manager of light. Just manages it. The sun is the supervisor.
Manager of all things.
You mean his son is the supervisor? Because he made it. The family business. Job 37. At this, my heart became frightened, and it has been moved from its place.
Just moved the heart.
They
just did a fucking Indiana Jones Scully Ma and just took his heart? But through speech?
No, maybe this is why our heart is what it is. Like, you know how our heart is kind of slightly off to the side? Maybe that's why.
Wow.
It used to be in the middle, but they just moved it. Bro literally just grabbed it and shifted it.
If only we were taught that in biology class. Would you say you own your child? Same thing with God and his creation. That's what I was referring to. Like, do you own your child? Probably not.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing as the light thing, though. I mean, I can make a child. I wouldn't own the child, but I could assemble a lamp, and I'd own the lamp.
You own the lamp, but not the light.
Yeah, because God, He made the light, therefore He owns it. He doesn't own Jesus, but He also made it. But He does own the light.
Remember when Jesus got crossed? I think Jesus got owned, so. Jesus he's close to God. He's like harder. I don't know the details.
No, he's the Son of God.
Well, but it's the Trinity thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Your mom's the Trinity.
Have you seen those old Western movies? They call me Trinity.
Your mom's the fourth part of the Trinity.
I'm sure
Really?
there's some kind of pun to be made about Trinity sounding close enough to virginity, but I can't think of it.
Well, then if you can't think of it, then it probably doesn't exist.
Oh, it does.
If anyone can think of it, it'd be you.
We just need more time.
We have all the time in the world. We also have Dill.
Could you do something with like a threesome Trinity virginity?
I'm trying to think more like Mother Mary or whatever she was called was a virgin, but virginity something.
Well, I mean, there was something with the 3 people that came. I'm sure you could shove that into the Trinity part
I
somewhere.
used to have virginity, but then I entered the Holy Trinity.
I've got plenty of time. We'll figure this out.
This is what the stream is now.
Pay close attention to the alarm of his voice and to the sound that it proceeds from his mouth. He beholds everything under the heavens, and his light reaches beyond the ends of the earth. After
I
this,
like how you do it. I like how you say beyond so violently that Discord just cuts you off.
Maybe that was what happened with your Ubu also.
I mean, it's probably the noise suppression, and it just considers that noise and not speech because it doesn't sound like normal speech. But I guess you're better off like that, so you're welcome.
I'll have to watch the VOD.
There's plenty for you to watch if you wanna. After this, a noise will sound. He will thunder the voice of his mediocreness, and it will not be tracked down, yet his voice will be obeyed. Skytus will thunder with his voice miraculously, for he performs mediocre and unsearchable things. He commands the snow to descend on earth, and the winter rains, and the shower of his strength. He signs the hand of all men, so that each one may know his works. The Beastonian will enter his hiding place, and he will remain in his cave. So he has like a sky cave.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
That was an effort. From the interior, a storm will come forth, and a cold winter from the north. As Skytus breathes out, frost storms, and the waters are poured forth very widely again. Crops desire clouds, and the clouds scatter their light. It shines all around, wherever the will of him that governs them will lead. To anywhere he will command, over the whole face of the earth, whether in one tribe, or in his own region, or in whatever place of his mercy that he will order them to be found. Listen to these things, Job. Stand up and consider the wonders of Skytus.
Don't do that.
Is this still Ilio speaking? I'm just confused.
Billy.
Do you know when Skytus ordered the rains to bless?
Do you know the way?
So as to show the light of his clouds? Do you know the mediocre paths of the clouds and the perfect sciences? Are not your garments hot when the south wind blows across the land? Excuse me, what?
Question mark.
What does that even mean? Are not your garments hot when the south wind blows across the land? Wouldn't that
Well, I
be
suppose-
Isn't it
well,
usually
suppose-
warmer in the south?
Yeah, south is where you get the deserts and all that shit. So
Well, if you're in the northern hemisphere,
But-
I guess.
if there's wind, your garments are probably not gonna be hot. Unless you're
Well,
already
I
living
guess
in a
that's
hot
fair.
area, but then they wouldn't point out the south winds, so it just doesn't add up. I mean, maybe math worked differently back then.
Well,
maybe they just did meth instead of math.
I think it makes sense.
That sounds like a good method to deal with this. Well, more like meth, OD,
Matthew.
meth many. Perhaps you have made the heavens with him, which are very solid, as if they had been cast from brass. Reveal to us what we should say to him, for of course we are wrapped in darkness. Who will explain to him the things that I am saying? Even while a man is still speaking, he will be devoured. Although they do not see the light, the air will be thickened suddenly into clouds, and the wind, passing by, will drive them away. Riches arrive from the north, and fearful praise reaches out to Skytus. We are not worthy to be able to find him. Mediocre is his strength, mediocre in strength, mediocre in judgment, mediocre in justice. He is indescribable. Therefore, men will fear him, and all those who seem to themselves to be wise will not dare to contemplate him.
Is mediocre
Hey, Teras.
okay, great. Mediocre.
Does that count as laughing at the replacing of mediocre?
Oh, you know what? Why not?
I think you did, yeah. But so in this next, I'm so excited here for Job 38. So this is actually God responding then.
I think so.
The Lord responding to Job from a whirlwind.
Wait, does that mean God spoke to Job?
Yeah. What?
From a whirlwind.
Job.
You know what that means?
Job 38. Oh, damn, Teras is paying attention today. What is going on? Holy hell. But the Lord,
It's alcohol.
But the Lord, responding to Job from a whirlwind, said, Who is this that raps sentence? You know what? Who is this that raps sentences in unskilled words? Gird your waist like a man. I will question you, and you must answer me. Where were you when I set the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who set its measurements, if you know, or who stretched a line over it? A line of cocaine, that is. Upon what have its bases been grounded, and who set forth its cornerstone? When the morning stars praised me together, and all the sons of Skytus made a joyful noise, who enclosed the sea with doors, when it broke forth as if issuing from the womb. When I stationed a cloud as its garment and wrapped it in a mist as if swaddling an infant. I encircled it with my limits, and I positioned its bars and doors. And I said, This far you will approach, and you will proceed. And you will proceed it no further, I good English, and here you will break your swelling waves. What the?
Hold on.
Excuse me, what? You will proceed it no further. Yeah, English.
Hold on, this reminds me of something.
I think Skytus had a few too many drinks. Oh yeah, right. Did you, after your birth, command the birth of the sun and show the sunrise its place? Hey! Isn't that what we were talking about earlier? So, Skytus is asking Job, did you, after your birth, command the birth of the sun and show the sunrise its place? So is he just saying, like, shut the fuck up, I made the sun, you suck? Is this just a flex? Like, did you make the sun? No, obviously you didn't. I did.
I guess so, yeah.
What does this even mean?
And he also, well, I guess also the thing we talked about owning and having a child, here he talks about the sun as birthing the sun.
Yeah, it's just, this is so weird. Oh wait, hold on, before I continue, I just realized one thing that I need to do real quick.
I need to do something real quick.
Jokes on you, have already done it. And did you hold the extremities of the earth, shaking them, and have you shaken the empires out of it? The seal will be restored like clay, and it will remain in place like a garment. From the empires, the light will be taken away, and the exalted arm will be broken. Have you entered the depth of the sea, and have you taken a walk in the uttermost parts of the abyss? Have the gates of death with one F been opened to you, and have you seen the doors of darkness? Have you considered the breadth of the earth? If you know all things, reveal them to me. Which is the way that holds the light, and which is the place of darkness? In this way, you might lead each thing to its final place and understand the paths of its house. So then, Did you know when you were to be born? And did you know the number of your days? Have you been admitted into the storehouse of the snows? And have you gazed upon the stockpile of brimstone, which I have prepared for the time of the enemy, for the day of the battle and the war? In what way is the light scattered and the heat distributed over the earth? Who gave a course to the rainstorms and a path to the resounding thunder, so that it would rain on the earth far from man, in the wilderness where no mortal lingers, so that it would fill impassable and desolate places, and would bring forth green plants? Who is the father of rain, or who conceived the drops of dew? From whose womb did the ice proceed, and who created the frost from the air? The waters are
Wait.
hardened to become like stone, and the surface of the abyss freezes over.
Skatis. Why is he talking? Why is he using the womb imagery?
No.
Well, I'm saying he, but
It's an womb.
From whose womb did the ice proceed, and who created the frost from
Yeah,
there?
I think you know the answer. Skytis is secretly a futanari. He just, yeah.
Send feet pics.
This is the second discussion about futanari that I've had this week.
Nice.
That's a sign from God.
I won't go into detail. Well, I guess I will, but it led me to do an image search for futanari and egg futanari, and because I was trying to get some like funny egg themed pictures.
What?
But what I got was well, I did find one funny picture, but most of it was pretty nasty, to be honest. It wasn't really what I was expecting.
If you want an egg futanari pic, you can just DM egg on Discord.
Well, yeah. Because I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking.
You were probably thinking, me horny, me want to see egg futanari.
No. Well, I have a friend who he's also bald. He's more bald than me, so we call him Egg. And
That's a
then we
bold
were
assumption.
talking about. I actually tried to send him a game. What was it called? My boss is a futanari. I sent him a game on Steam, but he refused it. Because
Can I have it instead?
yeah, I sent it.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
I don't know why I said this here. Good thing no one is watching.
Will you have the strength to join together the sparkling stars of the Pleiades, or are you able to disperse the circling of Arcturus? And you bring forth the morning star in its time, and make the evening star rise over the sons of the earth? Do you know the order of heaven, and can you explain its rules here on the earth? Can you lift up your voice to the clouds, so that an onslaught of waters will cover you? Can you send forth lightning bolts, and will they go, and on returning, say to you, "Here we are"? Questions? Who placed
Fuck off.
Who
Why would
placed
the
discernment in the guts
say,
of
"Here we
man?
are"?
Or who gave the rooster intelligence? Who can describe the
fuck
rules of the heavens, or who can put to rest the harmony of heaven? When was the dust cast to become the earth, and when were its clots fastened together? Will you cease prey for the lioness, and will you sustain the lives of her young, as they rest in their dens or lie in waits in pits? Who provides the raven with its meal when her chicks cry out to Skytus as they wander around because they have no food? Why is that a question? Can you send forth lightning bolts? And will they go? And on returning say to you, "Here we are"? Why is that a question?
Literally.
Why is God talking like this? Why does he have to?
He's just flexing his massive.
It seems so unnecessary. Yeah, now he's acting like the guys have been talking to each other here, like the
So
men.
I think Skydus is just basically talking to Job and is saying, stop being such a bitch. Look at all the amazing things I did. Now shut the fuck up and worship me. Or at least he's implying
but
that.
he's God. He shouldn't have to talk like that. He shouldn't have. Why is he? It should be beneath
Well,
him.
clearly he did a poor job when creating Job. Because otherwise, yeah, I don't know. It's like an experiment that has gone out of hand, like Jurassic Park or SCP or something.
Who placed discernment in the guts of man, or who gave the rooster intelligence? The rooster isn't known for its intelligence, I wouldn't say.
It does
Neither
have
are you.
intelligence, though. Not
Well,
much.
I guess it has some intelligence, but it's not much. Are chickens, roosters? They're known for being quite stupid, right? It's a very basic, very low form of intelligence.
I don't know about stupid. What I think it's just generally known that they have no sense of object permanence, which might be conflated with stupidity, but I think at least that's the main thing that people know. But maybe that's only a Skydus thing. Maybe only I happen to know that or associate that with chickens. But that's what comes to my mind.
What did you say? What did you call it?
Object permanence.
What does that mean?
Okay, that's very simple. Do you see this?
Yes.
It's now gone. It ceased to exist. It's just
what's gone?
The thing that I had before.
I don't
literally gone.
remember
Exactly.
having anything.
That's the point. You get it. Yeah. So
right.
if you hide something, if they don't see it anymore, they don't know that it exists. Basically, if they can't see or hear it, or I don't know the exact details, but something along those lines.
So they're probably not very intelligent then.
Probably. Like it's the equivalent of when you go to a child and it's like, where am I? And the child doesn't understand because can't see you. And then it's like, oh my god, he's back, magic trick.
Can you do the thing with the thumb? I can't.
Wait, isn't that... Wait, doesn't that work like... No, wait, doesn't it work like...
I can do that too.
Oh.
I passed some nerds earlier, and I was thinking I would do
Anyway,
like this or something. Well, I don't have the best finger dexterity.
No, I don't know how to do that to answer your question. I know what you mean, though.
So it looks like God will continue to narrate Job, I guess.
I'm too lazy to activate my thing again, though. Job 39. Do you know at what time the wild goats have given birth amongst us, the rocks? Or do you observe the deer when they go into labor? Have you numbered the months since their conception, and do you know at what time they gave birth? They bend themselves for their offspring, and they give birth, and they emit roars. Their young are weaned and go out to feed. They depart and do not return to them. Who has set the wild ass free, and who has released his bonds? I have given a house in solitude to him, and his guided tent is in the salted land. He despises the crowded city. He does not pay attention to the bellow of the tax collector. He looks around the mountains of his pasture, and he searches everywhere for green plants. Will the rhinoceros... I keep forgetting how to pronounce this. Is rhinoceros? Whatever. Will the rhinoceros be willing to serve you, and will he remain in your stall? Can you detain the rhinoceros with your harness to plow for you, and will he loosen the soil of the furrows behind you? Will you put your faith in his mediocre strength and delegate your labors to him? Will you trust him to return to you the seed and to gather it on your drying floor? The wing of the ostrich is like the wings of the heron and of the hawk. When she leaves eggs behind in the earth, will you perhaps warm them in the dust? She forgets that feet may trample them, or that the Bistonians of the field may shatter them. She is hardened against her young, as if they were not hers. She has labored in vain, with no fear compelling her. For Skytus has deprived her of wisdom, neither has he given her understanding. Wait, who are we talking about?
Yes.
The hawk? No, wait, the ostrich, because wings like the wings of so ostrich is deprived of wisdom. So rooster has intelligence, but an ostrich is deprived of wisdom. Oh,
Okay. Well, I would assume an ostrich is more intelligent than a rooster.
I would have also guessed the same, but I don't know. I don't have anything to base that assumption off of, so I might very well be wrong.
The answer is yes.
Bigger.
Yet, when the time is right, she raises her wings on high. She ridicules the horse and his rider. Will you supply the strength to the horse or envelope his throat with neighing?
An envelope.
No, you. Will you alarm him as the locusts do? His panic is revealed by the display of his nostrils. He digs at the earth with his hoof. He jumps around boldly. He advances to meet armed men. He despises fear. He does not turn away from the sword. Above him, the quiver rattles. The spear and the shield shake. Seething and raging, he drinks up the earth. Neither does he pause when the blast of the trumpet sounds. When he bears the bugle, he says, "Ha!" He smells the battle cry from a distance, the exhortation of the officers, and the battle cry of the soldiers. Does the hawk grow feathers by means of your wisdom, spreading her wings towards the south? Will the eagle lift herself up at your command and make her nest in steep places? She dwells amongst us, the rocks, and she lingers amongst us, broken boulders and inaccessible cliffs. From there, she looks for food, and her eyes catch sight of it from far away. Her young will drink blood, and wherever the carcass will be, she is there immediately. And the Lord continued, and he said to Job, Will he who contends with Skytus be so easily silenced? Certainly, he who argues with Skytus must also respond to him. Skytus spoke to Job, Teras. Then Job answered the Lord, saying, What could I possibly answer, since I have been speaking thoughtlessly? I will place my hand over my mouth. One thing I have spoken, which I wish I had not said, and another to which I will add no more. Wow. Imagine if it was that easy to make him shut up. All it took was 2 chapters of Skytus just telling him, fuck you, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Classic.
From a whirlwind.
True. Maybe that makes it a little more menacing. Job 40. But the Lord, answering Job out of the whirlwind, said,
Yes.
Gird your waist like a man. I will question you, and you must answer me. Will you make my judgment null and void? And will you condemn me so that you may be justified? And do you have an arm like Skytus? Or a voice like thunder? Envelope yourself with splendor, and raise yourself up on high, and be glorious, and put on splendid garments. Scatter the arrogant with your wrath, and, when you see all the arrogant, humble them. Look down upon each of the arrogant, and confound them, and crush the impious in their place. Hide them in the dust together, and plunge their faces into the pit. Then I will confess that your right hand is able to save you. Behold! The behemoth, whom I created along with you, eats hay like a cock. His strength is in his lower back, and his power is in the center of his abdomen. He draws up his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his thighs have been drawn together. Drawn together reference. His bones are like pipes of brass. His cartilage is like plates of iron. He is the beginning of the ways of Skytus, who made him. He will use him as a sword. The mountains bring forth grass for him. All the Bistonians of the field will play here. He sleeps in the shadows under the cover of branches and in moist places. The shadows cover his shadow. The willows of the brook will encircle him. Behold! He will drink a river and not be amazed. and he has confidence that the Jordan could flow into his mouth.
There's a lot of confidence. I'm gonna go get another beer.
Excuse me, what? Hey, Toa.
Yeah.
What?
I guess it's powerful imagery.
Oh.
He will drink a river and not be amazed, and he has confidence that the Jordan could flow into his mouth. Jordan being a big river.
But like drink, so like he can drink from a river, and it's like, oh well, this water is not particularly good.
But
like,
I think I'm a bit lost. What's he describing now? Is he describing someone who believes in Skytis, or
I think he's
someone who
basically
is
saying now,
arrogant, or-
okay, now that you realize that you need to shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
this is what you need to do. You need to crush all the arrogant and non-believers and all that, and then there's a chance that your hand might save you. Okay, there's a chance you'll go to heaven or whatever.
But so this sentence with the river, is it describing someone arrogant that Job must crush, or is it you will become this powerful?
Who's Job?
Wait, where does it start? Then I will confess that your right hand is able to save you. Behold, the behemoth whom I created along with you eats hay like a cock. So basically his arch nemesis, or it's whatever.
But so God created a behemoth along with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's okay.
He's big.
So he created a kind of monster.
Yes.
He created the final boss as a plot device. So Job has a reason to train and become the very best, like no one ever was.
Okay. Well, I guess that's good.
Ooh.
I don't think that's how that song goes, Teras. You're confusing that with SpongeBob. I just upset on Skytis.
I also like just the moist places.
You want to see Teras'
sleeps
moist
in shadows
place?
under the cover of branches and in moist places.
I'll crush you.
I mean, I can show you a moist place after a wet dream.
I sent you a link in the chat.
I purposefully ignored it.
Later.
For very good reason. He will seize him through his eyes, as if with a hook, and he will bore through his nostrils, as if with stakes. Can you draw out the Leviathan with a hook? And can you bind his tongue with a cord? Can you place a ring in his nose, or bore through his jaw with an armband? Will he offer many prayers to you, or speak to you quietly? Will he form a covenant with you, and will you accept him as a servant forever? Will you play with him as with a bird, as we usually play with birds? Yes, of course. Or tether him for your handmaids? Will your friends cut him into pieces? Will dealers distribute him? Excuse me, what? Of course, yeah. Will your friends cut him into pieces? Will dealers distribute him? Good question.
Isn't that like a classical thing that we'll cut this motherfucker into pieces and then we'll spread them across the land?
I mean, they did that once. There was somebody's wife got murdered, and then he cut her into pieces and set the pieces everywhere. And somehow everybody knew, oh my god, that means she got murdered. We gotta now all fight against. Like they just immediately knew who their nemesis was, and then they just all gathered and went forth to fight against someone.
But did he do that just to sort of spite them and to like a disrespect towards the victim, or was it more like,
no?
Here, look what I did.
There was a guy, and his wife was murdered, if I remember correctly, and then he cut her into pieces.
Yeah,
and that was his last resort. And then he sent all the pieces of his wife into all the land. And then everybody was like, oh my god, this is a small chunk of this guy's wife. We gotta go there now and help and fight against whoever. They just... It's like as if it's some kind of mail that just tells them what they need to do. Somehow they all just know. Like, oh, check of person. That means we have to go here and fight this person.
Well, I guess it's also the thing that when you
maybe they just got like a bad omen cheat sheet.
Or it's just a hive
Yeah.
mind.
when you want to bury someone, you want to bury like the whole body.
I'll explain why you're in my head.
You don't want the pieces missing. So if they're spread across the land, then I guess it's
Your
harder
mom
to
is
find.
spread across the land.
Continue, guys.
Will you fill up bags with his hide and let his head be used as a home for fishes? Place your hand upon him. Remember the battle and speak no more. Behold! His hope will fail him, and in the sight of all, he will be thrown down. So basically, he's saying there's gonna be a behemoth. You need to somehow win against him. Do you think you can do that? He's gonna be super strong. Do you think you can do it? And it's like, and also you will win. Spoiler alert! Hello.
Well, I guess as long as he believes he will win, he will win. Is that the thing? If you have faith, you will prevail.
I mean, it just says, place your hand upon him, remember the battle, and speak no more. So, like, after the battle is over, well, I guess, yeah. After the battle is over, I mean, yeah, I guess. And of course, he's still not done speaking. Job 40.
We're coming up towards the end of the book now.
Yeah, thanks, Skytus. Job 41. I will not rouse him as the cruel would do, for who is able to withstand my countenance? Who has given to me beforehand, so that I should repay him? All things that are under heaven are mine. I will not spare him, nor his powerful words and counterfeit attempts at supplication. Who can reveal the beauty of his garment, and who can enter the middle of his mouth? Why the middle specifically? I think there's a creeper somewhere.
I guess if you enter someone's mouth,
Enter your mouth.
It's like the logical.
I mean, you could also enter from the side if you make an extra hole, I guess, but
hole.
Behold.
Gargle.
Right, there's zombies as well. What has this Minecraft server become?
Christian Minecraft server.
Who can open the doors of his face?
I mean, this is not just his mouth.
I don't know.
Are we talking about eyelids?
I mean, maybe he literally just has doors attached to his face. They literally just doors bolted. I mean, you could just take them away, but that would be a little unhinged, I guess. I gave fear to the circle of his teeth.
Tooth.
Oh, so I think that's just referring to his mouth, as in like he's screaming in fear. It's an interesting figure of speech. But on a more literal way, if you take this more literally, it's just weird. His body is like shields fused together, like dense scales pressed over one another. One is joined to another, and not even air can pass between them. They adhere to one another, and they hold themselves in places and will not be separated. His sneezing has the brilliance of fire, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Lamps proceed from his mouth, like torches of fire burning brightly. Smoke passes out of his nostrils, like a pot that is heated and boiling. Is it just a fucking dragon? His breath causes coal to burn, and a flame comes forth from his mouth. So far, I would say that's a dragon. Scales?
Yeah.
Hot breath? Smoke? The only thing that I'm not too sure about is the lamps. Like, lamps proceed from his mouth, but I guess fire is sort of a lamp, kind of? I remember, like, some sessions ago, we had the Fountain of Dragons or something. That's when we first learned that dragons were a thing in the Bible. And yeah, actually, so basically, Job has to kill a dragon or tame a dragon or something to prove his faith.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tame you.
This is fucking Disney's How to Tame a Dragon or whatever it's called.
I don't think it was Disney.
Strength dwells in his neck, and destitution goes before his presence. The parts of his body work in harmony together. He will send lightning bolts against him, and they will not be carried to another place. Wait, can dragons usually do lightning bolts?
But he will send lightning bolts against him. Who's sending lightning bolts against
Hold on,
who?
my bread is finished baking.
I'm just gonna
Check it out.
assume that by him just implicitly means his enemies. So I guess Job in this case. But it's technically never mentioned, so it's not entirely clear.
Because if Job had lightning bolts to throw, if God gave him like lightning bolts to fight the dragon, that would be more fair.
Maybe. So basically, Job is like Hercules.
And dragons are typically weak against lightning, right?
Are they? But I don't know.
Well, they are in Dark Souls, but I don't know if they're.
His heart will be as hard as a stone and as dense as a blacksmith's anvil. When he will be raised up, the angels will be afraid because they are terrified. They will purify themselves. Oh, and because they are terrified, they will purify themselves. When his sword catches up with him, it will not be able to settle in, nor a spear, nor a Brestonian blade. For he will consider iron as if it were chaff, and brass as if it were rotten wood. The archer will not cause him to flee. The stones of the sling have been turned into stubble for him. He will treat the hammer as if it were the stubble, and he will ridicule those who brandish the spear. The beams of the sun will be under him. I guess that just means he can fly. And he will dispense gold to them as if it were clay. Wait. Dispense gold? To them, I guess, meaning his enemies, the ones that try to fight him with like a spear and a hammer? Or no, wait, to the beams of gold. Wait, so he's flying high up above the sun, and he's dispensing gold to the sun.
Could it be a metaphor for him like shooting fire or something?
I don't see how that would relate to gold.
Have returned.
Well, gold is bright.
If so, that's not a very bright metaphor. He will dispense gold to them. It's just, I don't fucking know. He will make the depths of the sea boil like a pot, and he will set it to bubble just as ointments do. A path will shine after him. He will esteem the abyss as if it were weakening with age. There is no power on the earth that is being compared to him, who has been made so that he fears no one. He sees every prominent thing. He is king over all the sons of arrogance.
Sons of arrogance.
Your mom.
I wonder if we'll actually get to like read about this actual fight, or if it's just going to be like, oh, you're going to do this.
It's just going to be like an anime with 15 chapters of build-up.
Yeah, exactly, because I mean it's ending.
So... well, that. Yeah, that'll happen once we get to the Book of Dragon.
Maybe it's,
God, no, that's Teras. You can't just steal that. I was waiting for Thor to ask if there's a Book of Dragon. Ruined it. Okay. Job 42. Then Job, responding to the Lord, said, I know that you are able to do all things, and that no thoughts are hidden from you. So, who is it that would disguise a lack of knowledge as counsel? Therefore, I have been speaking foolishly about things whose measure exceeds my knowledge. Listen, and I will speak. I will question you, and you may answer me. By paying attention with the ear, I have heard you, but now my eyes see you. Therefore, I find myself reprehensible, and I will do penance in embers and ashes. But after the Lord had finished speaking these words to Job,
Job.
But wasn't Job just speaking? Job responded and said, huh? Okay. But after the Lord had finished speaking these words to Job, he said to Eliphaz the Themanite, hey, the Lord is speaking to someone, Teras. My wrath has been kindled against you and against your two friends, because you have not been speaking correctly in my eyes, as my servant Job has done. Hey, Toa.
Okay, so Job was right.
But he literally just gave him a fucking chapter of you did so fucking wrong, you gotta tame a dragon to redeem yourself. But also the others did wrong because they didn't do what Job did?
Yeah.
Wrong.
How does this...
Censure.
This makes no fucking sense.
Doesn't need to.
My wrath has been kindled against you and against you, your two friends, because you have not been speaking correctly in my eyes, as my servant Job has done. Is it possibly just referring to the last bit where Job admitted, like, okay, you're God, fine, I'll do it. No, it has to be like this.
There's no action in
Onwards.
between, so I'm assuming it's still just like they're just sitting there and talking.
This is weird.
You know what else is weird?
The Bible.
No, the concept of yogurt.
Why?
Like it's just cream, but it went off because of the bacteria, and now it's suddenly bare.
Well, would you rather have
Isn't
it
that
go...
the same with?
Go ahead.
Isn't that the same with like wine and I don't know, cheese and other stuff?
I mean, but wine makes it like in the case of wine, it makes alcoholic.
Yeah.
In the case of yogurt, it's just off. There's nothing. It's not alcoholic. It's just off. We're just eating it because it's off.
It tastes good.
Yeah, it's just it went off. That's how someone didn't want to waste it and they ate it and it was like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
You know what else went off? You on a tangent about yogurt. Therefore, have 7 bulls and 7 rams brought to you, and go to my servant Job and offer these as holocaust for yourselves. But also, my servant Job will pray for you. I will accept his face, so that foolishness will not be imputed to you. For you have not been speaking correctly about me, as my servant Job has done. I don't fucking get it. Job did not do the right thing. This is so stupid. So Eliphaz the Themanite and Baldad the Suhite and Zophar the Nahamathite departed. So I guess it was just 4 people? But if I remember correctly, wasn't there one guy that didn't speak at all for almost the entirety, and then he was like, I've listened to everything you said, and now I'm gonna speak because I have these things to say. Like their intern or something. I don't know if he was one of those 3.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. But 3 guys sounds about
so
right.
yeah, those 3 departed, and they did just as the Lord had spoken to them, and the Lord accepted the face of Job. Likewise, the Lord was moved by the repentance of Job when he prayed for his friends, and the Lord gave to Job twice as much as he had before. Wow! Congratulations, you now have 2 times 0. Yet all his brethren came to him and to all his sisters and everyone who had known him before, and they ate bread with him in his house. So basically, he got whatever he had left got doubled, and then everybody visited and ate his bread.
Classic.
I guess he didn't get his wife and kids back.
True. I'm not 100% sure on them dying, but I think that's what happened. They also shook their heads over him and comforted him because of all the bad things that Skydas had inflicted on him. And each one of them gave him 1 female sheep and 1 earring of gold. And the Lord blessed the latter end of Job, and the Lord blessed the latter end of Job even more than his beginning. I guess in his last years of life he was more blessed.
I thought it meant his ass.
That's what I first also thought, but more than his beninging. I mean, where's his beninging?
Yeah, but where did the dragon go?
Yes, clearly across your face. No, that just happened off screen. That's for the.
It was just implied, I guess.
What's the fucking word? Not offspring.
You're the offspring.
Fuck's sake! I wish I was. I'm not that good at music. Spin-off. That's the word. That's gonna happen in the spin-off. They just keeping that as potential future material if this book sells well enough. Where the hell was I?
And he had 14,000 sheep.
And he had 14,000 sheep, and 6,000 came mules, and 1,000 pairs of coxen, and 1,000 she donkeys. And he had 7
Ooh.
sons and 3 daughters. And he called the name of one Daylight, and the name of the second Cinnamon, the name of the third Horn of Cosmetics. What? What is this? It just. Here,
Brilliant.
meet my daughter, Horn of Cosmetics. More like horny for cosmetics.
These are the names of his daughters.
Yes.
Right.
His daughter is literally named Horn of Cosmetics. Now you tell me, what the fuck? Exactly.
Horn of Cosmetics.
And in the whole world there were not found women so beautiful as the daughters of Job. And so their father gave them an inheritance along with their brothers. But Job lived long after these events, for 140 years, and he saw his children and his children's children all the way to the 4th generation. And he died an old man and full of days.
You're an old man.
So I googled the Horn of Cosmetics. Keren Hapush. Well, Keren Hapkush, Horn of Cool, was the youngest of the 3 beautiful daughters of Job, named in the Bible as given to him in the later parts of his life. She was described as more beautiful than all the other women, blah, blah, blah. Well, I guess it basically is supposed to mean beauty or something. Horn of beauty.
Horn of beauty.
No, that's what Thor sent.
Coal. Okay, it's Horn of Coal. Coal is Arabic for coal, and that was used for cosmetics, like eyeliner or some shit.
Just
Okay, well, I guess that's.
You know what? I'm just not gonna. Just amazing name. Hey, Teras, it is time.
Is it?
It is. How did you enjoy yourself?
Where's the? Yeah, there it is.
The word cosmetics is derived from the Greek kappa omicron sigma mu eta
I actually kind of did.
nu eta, cosmetica techne, meaning technique of dress and ornament, from kappa omicron sigma mu eta tau iota kappa sigma, cosmeticos.
Did you break something?
I like how it just pronounces each individual character. The word cosmetics is derived from the Greek cosmetica techne, meaning technique of dress and ornament. Yeah, so it's just a more loose translation, but still the name's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
So enjoyability. It started off pretty interesting, and then it was just a lot of bitching, and then it was just a lot of the back and forth arguing with just not much happening. Then we got the fucking build up to a dragon fight, and then we just got blue balled.
Yes.
I'm just like annoyed. This is not horrible, but I'm just looking at. I'm thinking more like a 4 characters. I think we had 6 characters or so. We had Skytis, Satan, Job, the other 3 dudes, and maybe the intern that they potentially had. Like, there was not much character development.
Yes. I mean, at least they were concise.
They all just
that many. It wasn't an overload of characters.
Yeah, but
all characters actually had a role.
But they could have just as well only have one person argue against Job, and there was no character development or anything. It was just everybody argues their point, and then at some point, Scott is like, "Okay, just shut the fuck up. You listen here. You're all wrong."
Classic.
So,
but so this was. It started on page 301. So it was about 15 pages of. It felt like at least 10 of the pages were just the 3 guys talking, basically.
I just feel like there was
4 or 5 guys. So
not much happening, but it also wasn't terrible. Like the characters didn't have any blatant flaws or anything, so I'm gonna give it a 6. Writing, it had some very interesting imagery, I guess, but also some of the stuff was just
It's just
way too drawn out.
I mean, it was long, but the actual quality of writing itself was just amazing.
Well, yeah, I guess what I'm talking about is more like plot. So yeah,
it wasn't anywhere near as repetitive as anything we've had. It used a lot of words that were not used at any other point in the Bible. There was a lot of really nice, imagery and just fucking comparisons between things and just a creative use of a lot of words.
Yeah, it's like a very low 10 or very high 9. So plot is just shitty.
It was so.
There's Job. Job has an amazing life. Then Satan was like, haha, I dare you to take all away. Skytus takes all away. Job is now a fucking bitch, non-stop complaining about how he wants to die. Then he's visited by 3 people and they argue about Skytus, and then nothing happens.
The plot was so bad that even though I paid attention to what was being said, I did not pick up a single thing, because I understood the sentences individually. My brain did not connect them in any cohesive order. So I just heard a bunch of really well-written sentences that were meaningless.
I'm just looking at this.
Well, that's the thing. Basically, all of the argumentation, and the discussion that I had, that's just in and out.
I don't pay all that much attention. I don't pay all that much attention, but usually I still at least know the general gist of the thing. And the only reason I know anything that's happening is because you keep highlighting it. You're like, oh yeah, there's an argument and there's this guy. If you didn't say that, I'll just tell you I have no idea what happened this entire book.
The thing is,
I couldn't tell you one thing that happened, one thing that was said. I just have no idea what's going on.
Pretty much the entire plot is their discussion. They're arguing back and forth. But since there's no change, or like nobody shows any insight or anything until just Deus Ex Machina, Skytus appears and it's like, you're all wrong. Nothing happens. It's just like really poor. So I'm actually gonna give it a 2. Comedy.
Well, it did have some good.
The Horn of Cosmetics was pretty funny.
Yeah, there were some pretty funny things.
That came out of nowhere. Again, I'm having trouble. It was so nonsensical that I'm having trouble remembering anything. But also, a lot of the comparisons and analogies they used were mildly humorous.
I'm thinking it's like a high 6 or low 7 for me.
I thought it was funny when God went into this whole tirade about how he had given the intelligence to the roosters, and the wild goats have given birth among the rocks, and it's just absurd.
Was it
just went on and on.
I was gonna ask you the same thing.
I don't think so. Again, I don't know what happened. So
Gaius's womb, but like, since there was no plot,
is that even worth a 1 though?
Entering the middle of the mouth.
True.
Yeah.
But I guess
so I suppose this earned itself a 1.
Yeah, that's also what I was thinking.
I don't know how, but we're still managing to keep the scores fairly equal.
What happened in the judges that has 10 on kink?
I don't remember. A lot of kinkiness. Just read the book.
Expand the main average. The main average in the corner, and how now
damn, it actually went up
to Esther and Job.
Let's go.
Yeah, because anything better than a 4 is gonna improve it.
The thing is, just Chronicles fucking ruined the average.
Chronicles is just a fucking scourge of this entire thing.
Chronicles can just fuck her right off.
Chronicles make Deuteronomy look like a masterpiece.
It puts me in chronicle pain.
What happened with Naheim? Why is there 2? I have no recollection of it.
Nehemiah was, I think, all I remember is that Nehemiah was mentioned super late into the book, and that confused me. Other than that, I don't remember anymore, and I don't think I want to remember. If you want to, remember, there's that handy, useful website that we use.
Yeah, the one that you use that you just religiously love.
Yeah. We as in the royal we, of course.
I am yet to fucking click on and read anything from it.
Just find the easy to read version of Bible and read that then. Fuck you.
The easy to read version is just as long as the actual
I
version.
know.
It's just a bit more comprehensive.
The Book of Psalms.
Ooh.
But what is a psalm? Psalm. I mean, it's because you sing the psalms, and you have the psalm book, and you have the.
A psalm can also be, at least in German, they can refer to one of these Bible sections. A verse, like, is a psalm. So, like 1:1 would be one psalm, but also just I don't fucking know. It's Bible, so it could have various meanings. Maybe there was a family of people whose last name was Psalm, and we're gonna learn about their history.
Okay.
I think it's just like it's. I don't know.
They probably
different
just
short
needed a title
stories
for the
or
book,
short-
and they were like, "Well, it's a bunch of psalms, so the Book of Psalms."
Because I think they're separate from each other. Like they don't have a connection between them.
Feel free to do some research. I'm gonna do some research on the Bible myself right now.
Okay.
Psalm 1.
Psalm.
Blessed
What
is
is the psalm?
no you. Blessed is the man who has not followed the counsel of the impious, and has not remained in the way of sinners, and has not sat in the chair of pestilence. But his will is with the law of the Lord, and he will meditate on his law, day and night. And he will be like a tree that has been planted beside running waters, which will provide its fruit in its time, and its leaf will not fall away, and all things whatsoever that he does will prosper. Not so the impious, not so. For they are like the dust that the wind casts along the face of the earth. Therefore the impious will not prevail again in judgment, nor sinners in the counsel of the just. For the Lord knows the way of the just, and the path of the impious will pass away. So basically, just don't sin or you'll get screwed. Amazing.
They describe this as the Psalms as like a hymn, a sacred song or poem, a hymn for worship of the Lord.
Well, then, how about you read Psalm 2? Or rather, sing it, because it's apparently a hymn.
Well, I guess that's the tricky part. We don't know the rhythm.
You can make up your own rhythm, that's fine.
I'm not.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Why have the Gentiles been seething?
I don't want to be orange anymore.
And why have the people been pond? No, I can't sing it. I can read it if you want.
Feel free whenever.
Psalm 2. Why have the Gentiles been seething, and why have the people been pondering nonsense? The king of the earth have stood up, and the leaders have joined together as one, against the Lord and against his Christ. Let us shatter their chains and cast their yoke away from us. He who dwells in heaven will ridicule them, and the Lord will mock them. Then he will speak to them in his anger and trouble them with his fury. Yet I have been appointed king by him over Zion, his holy mountain, preaching his precepts. The Lord has said to me, You are my son, this day I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will give you the Gentiles for your inheritance, and the ends of the earth for your possession. You will rule them with an iron rod, and you will shatter them like a potter's vessel. And now, O kings, understand. Receive instruction, you who judge the earth. Serve the Lord in fear, and exalt in him with trembling. Embrace discipline, lest at any time the Lord might become angry, and you would perish from the way of the just. Though his wrath can flare up in short time, blessed are those who trust in him.
Teras.
What?
The Lord has said to me.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Okay, so this is basically just fanfic for Skytus.
Yeah, I guess so. Psalm 3, a psalm of David. When he fled from the face of his son Absalom, Lord, why have those who troubled me been multiplied? Many rise up against me. Many say to my soul, there is no salvation for him in his skytis. But you, Lord, are my supporter, my glory, and the one who raises up my head. I have cried to the Lord with my voice, and he has heard me from his holy mountain. I have slept and I have been stupefied, but I awakened because the Lord has taken me up. I will not fear the thousands of people surrounding me. Rise up, Lord. Save me, my skytis, for you have struck all of those who opposes me without cause. You have broken the teeth of sinners. Salvation is of the Lord, and your blessing is upon your people. Yeah, I guess it's praising the Lord, basically.
I'm having a feeling that the plot in this might be very weak.
There's not going to be any plot particular.
Exactly.
Psalm 4, in parts according to verses. A Psalm of David. Well, okay, I guess that isn't part of the actual.
It's sort of a subheading or.
Okay. When I called upon him, the skytes of my justice heeded me. In tribulation, you have enlarged me. Enlarged. Have mercy on me and heed my prayer. Sons of men, how long will you be dull in heart, so that whatever you love is in vain, and whatever you seek is false? And know this, the Lord has made wondrous his Holy One. The Lord will heed me when I cry out to him. Be angry, and do not be willing to sin. The things that you say in your heart, be sorry for them on your beds. Offer the sacrifice of justice, and hope in the Lord. Many say, who reveals to us what is good? The light of your countenance, Lord, has been sealed upon us. You have given joy to my heart. By the fruit of their grain, wine, and oil, they have been multiplied. In peace itself I will sleep and I will rest. For you, O Lord, have established me singularly in hope.
Plot thickens.
Aren't there a lot of psalms in the Bible?
I don't know. Do you want to know?
I think this can go on for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Aren't there like hundreds of psalms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a really long
Yeah.
book. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think we should have told Teras.
Yeah. 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 Oh, there we go. Oh, it's just 150.
Oh, 150, okay. So that's not, I said hundreds.
Dude.
That's not more than, well, not
It's
technically.
1,500, so it's.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if this is the only book of Psalm. Well, probably.
The thing is, Teras doesn't care. He knows that the Bible is very long and just which book we're on, he doesn't know and he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Actually, he might be happy that there's so many because the Psalms have absolutely no content and no plot, so there's even less reason for him to pay attention.
Yeah. Psalm 5. Unto the end, for her who pursues the inheritance, a psalm of David. O Lord, listen closely to my words, understand my outcry, attend to the voice of my prayer, my King and my skytis. For to you I will pray. In the morning, Lord, you will hear my voice. In the morning I will stand before you, and I will see. For you are not a skytis who wills iniquity, and the malicious will not dwell close to you, nor will the unjust endure before your eyes. You hate all who work iniquity. You will destroy all who speak a lie. The bloody and deceitful man the Lord will abominate, but I am in the multitude of your mercy. I will enter your house. I will show adoration toward your holy temple in your fear. Lord, lead me in your justice. Because of my enemies, direct my way in your sight. For there is no truth in their mouth, their heart is vain. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They have acted deceitfully with their tongues. Judge them, O Skytis. Let them fall by their own intentions. According to the multitudes of their impiety, expel them, for they have provoked you, O Lord. But let all those who hope in you rejoice. They will exult in your eternity, and you will dwell in them. And all those who love your name will glory in you. And you will bless the just. You have crowned us, O Lord, as if with a shield of your goodwill. So basically, if you don't believe in God, you go to hell, and if you believe in Him, He will be nice to you.
And if you believe in Him, you're still going to go to hell.
Yeah. Psalm 6. In parts according to verses. Is this like a note for how to sing it or something?
It's 6-1 though, so like probably like if you actually to sing it, this is probably just like, I guess it's just the background information. It's like Psalm for David. It's like sort of if there's a letter, like who wrote it to whom, and like it's not part of the actual letter. It's sort of meta information. But
is it maybe supposed to be sung in the same rhythm as Psalm of David? Could it be that? I don't
think so. I think it's just a song, like a praiseful song, a hymn for David, because as in David is great, so we wrote the song for him.
O Lord, do not rebuke me in your fury, nor chastise me in your anger. Have mercy on me, Lord, for I am weak. Heal me, Lord, for my bones have become disturbed, and my soul has been very troubled. But as for you, Lord, when? Turn to me, Lord, and rescue my soul. Save me because of your mercy. For there is no one in your death with no one with For there is no one in death with one F who would be mindful of you, and who will confess to you in hell. I have labored in my groaning. Every night with my tears I will wash my bed and drench my blanket. My eye has been troubled by rage. I have grown old among all my enemies. Scatter before me, all you who work iniquity, for the Lord has heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord has accepted my prayer. Let all my enemies be ashamed and together be mediocrely troubled. May they be converted and become ashamed very quickly. What does iniquity mean again? Is it just like heresy or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know the exact meaning, but it goes in that direction.
Yeah. I think I listened to a death metal band called Iniquity many years ago. Psalm 7. What was that, Skytis?
If you want to know, I guess look up the Swedish translation, because I don't
doesn't matter.
think I could paraphrase.
Iniquity was a Danish death metal group established in 1989.
Surely there's no religious theme in their texts.
I wonder if that's the band I'm thinking of. There's probably been more death metal bands with the same name.
I mean, there's Teras. Wasn't there a list of like the most common metal band names? This PoE League or something like that?
I wouldn't know. I'm not paying attention.
I don't know.
Silly.
There's some names are like super common. There's like so many bands with certain names. I guess Iniquity. There might be multiple.
Psalm 7. A psalm of David, which he sang to the Lord because of the words of Cush, the son of Gemini. Okay, so this psalm, I guess David is singing to the Lord then.
I guess, yeah.
Because of the words of Cush, the son of Gemini. O Lord, my Skytis, in you I have hoped. Save me from all those who persecute me and free me. lest at any time, like a lion, he might seize my soul, while there is no one to redeem me, nor anyone who can save me. O Lord, my skytis, if there is iniquity in my hands, if I have done this, if I have repaid those who rendered evils to me, may I deservedly fall away before my enemies. Let the enemy pursue my soul, and take hold of me, and trample my life into the earth, and drag down my glory into the dust. Rise up, Lord, in your anger, and be exalted to the borders of my enemies. And rise up, O Lord, my skytis, according to the precept that you command. And the congregation of people will surround you. And because of this, return on high. The Lord judges the people. Judge me, O Lord, according to my justice and according to my innocence within me. The wickedness of sinners will be consumed, and you will direct the just, the examiner of hearts and the temperaments in skytis. Just is my help from the Lord, who saves upright of heart. Skytis is just a judge, strong and patient. Skytis is a just judge, strong and patient. How could he be angry throughout every day?
This guy
Unless you...
This guy just keeps himself afloat by sheer power of anger.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't remember anybody know the meme? Teras knows. Bird.
Yeah. Suspends itself in the air with
Link
sheer
it.
power of will.
There you go.
Unless you will be converted, he will brandish his sword.
I'm gonna go piss very angrily. I'll be right back.
Make sure you yell loudly.
If you don't convert, he will kill you with his sword.
Yep.
He has extended his bow and made it ready. And with it, he has prepared instruments of death with one F. He has produced his arrows for those on fire. Behold him who has given birth to injustice. He has conceived sorrow and has begotten iniquity. He has opened a pit and enlarged it.
Don't see what?
And he has fallen into the hole that he made. His sorrow will be turned upon his own head, and his iniquity will descend upon his highest point. I will confess to the Lord according to his justice, and I will sing a song to the name of the Lord Most High.
Okay, I just had a genius idea. It's not gonna happen because I'm too lazy, but it's a brilliant idea nonetheless. Teras, there was a beholding.
Oh, wonderful.
So these are all hymns, so they're supposed to be sung.
Yes.
So what we need is auto-tune.
Right.
But I'm too lazy to set it up, so we can all just
Wow.
think about and imagine for a moment that we would be using auto-tune here, and it would be slightly funnier.
Yeah.
Would you like to continue? Should I take over?
I can do a few more, I guess.
Go ahead.
Psalm 8. Unto the end, for the oil and the wine presses, a psalm of David. O Lord, our Lord, how admirable is your name throughout all the earth. For your magnificence is elevated above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and infants you have perfected praise, because of your enemies, so that you may destroy the enemy and the revenger. For I will behold your heavens, the works of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have founded. What is a man that you are mindful of him, or the son of man that you visit him? You reduced him to a little less than the angels. You have crowned him with glory and honor. You have set him over the works of your hands. You have subjected all things under his feet, all sheep and coxswain, and in addition all the Bistonians in the fields, all the birds in the air, and all the fish in the sea which pass through the paths of the sea. O Lord, how admirable is your name throughout all the earth.
Teras.
Yes.
Behold.
I'm beholding.
Good.
Not very well.
Psalm 9. Unto the end, for the secrets of the Son, a psalm of David. I will confess to you, Lord, with my whole heart. I will recount all your wonders. I will rejoice and exult in you. I will sing a psalm to your name, O Most High. For my enemy will be turned back. They will be weakened and perish before your face. For you have accomplished my judgment and my cause. You have sat upon the throne that judges justice. You have rebuked the Gentiles, and the impious one has perished. You have deleted their name in eternity for all generations. The spears of the enemy have failed in the end, and their cities have been destroyed. Their memory has perished with a loud noise. What?
Guess that just means they, like, the memory as in they have been wiped out entirely with screaming.
Yeah, their memory has perished with a loud noise.
I think the memory as in just there's nobody left of their people, so just
but
wiped out.
it's just funny in a loud noise, thinking that
Mind blown.
But the Lord remains in eternity. He has prepared his throne in judgment, and he will judge the whole world in equity. He will judge the people in justice, and the Lord has become a refuge for the poor, a helper in opportunity in tribulation. And may they hope in you who know your name. For you have not abandoned those seeking you, Lord. Sing a psalm to the Lord, who dwells in Zion. Announce his study among us, the Gentiles. Because of those who yearn for their blood, he has remembered them. He has not forgotten the cry of the poor. Have mercy on me, Lord. See my humiliation from my enemies. You lift me up from the gates of death with one F, so that I may announce all your praises at the gates of the daughter of Zion. I will exult in your salvation. The Gentiles have become trapped in the ruin that they made. Their foot has been caught in the same snare that they themselves have hidden. The Lord will be recognized when making judgment. The sinner has been caught in the works of his own hands. The sinner will be returned into hell, all the Gentiles who have forgotten Skytis. For the poor will not be forgotten in the end. The patience of the poor will not perish in the end. Rise up, Lord, do not let man be strengthened. Let the Gentiles be judged in your sight. O Lord, establish a lawgiver over them, so that the Gentiles may know that they are only men. I guess it continues, actually.
Yeah, that's why it says Psalm 9 to 10.
Yeah,
It's the chapter 9 of the book of Psalms, but it actually contains the Psalm number 9 and the Psalm number 10. At least that's what I think this means.
Yeah. So then why, O Lord, have you withdrawn far away? Why have you overlooked us in opportunity and tribulation? While the impious is arrogant, the poor is inflamed. They are held by the counsels that they devise. For the sinner is praised by the desires of his soul, and the iniquitous is blessed. The sinner has not provoked the Lord, according to the multitude of his wrath, which will not seek. Skytis is not before his sight. His ways are stained at all times. Your judgments are removed from his face. He will be the master of his enemies, for he has said in his heart, I will not be disturbed from the generation to generation without evil. His mouth is full of curses and bitterness and deceit. Under his tongue are hardship and sorrow. He sits in ambush and with resources in hidden places, so that he may exalt the innocent. His eyes catch sight of the poor. He lies in ambush, hiding like a lion in his den. He lies in ambush so that he may seize the poor as he draws him in. With his snare he will bring him down. He will crouch down and pounce when he has power over the poor. For he has said in his heart, Skytis has forgotten, turn away this face, lest he sees the end. O Lord Skytis, rise up. Let your hand be exalted. Do not forget the poor. How has the impious one provoked Skytis? For he has said in his heart, he will not inquire. You do see, for you examine hardship and sorrow, so that you may deliver them into your hands. The poor one has abandoned you. You will be a helper to the orphan. Break the arm of the sinner and the malicious. His sin will be wrought, and it will not be found. The Lord shall reign in eternity, even forever and ever. He will perish the Gentiles from this land. The Lord has heeded the desire of the poor. Your ear has listened to the preparation of their heart, so as to judge for the orphan and the humble, so that man may no longer presume to magnify himself upon earth. Okay, I'll do the 10 because it's short.
Okay.
Psalm 10, in parentheses, Psalm 11. Unto the end, a psalm of David. I trust in the Lord. How can you say to my soul, sojourn to the mountain like a sparrow? For behold, the sinners have bent their bow. They have prepared their arrows in the quiver, so as to shoot arrows in the dark, upright of heart. For they have destroyed the things that you have completed. But what has the just one done? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes look upon the poor. His eyelids question the sons of men. The Lord questions the just and the impious. Yet he who loves the iniquity hates his own soul. He will rain down snares upon sinners. Fire and brimstone and windstorms will be the portion of their cup. For the Lord is just, and he chooses justice. His countenance has beheld the equity.
Teras,
I'm.
What?
behold,
Oh, okay.
you are.
It's so far. It's a lot of just
I
the
don't think
same
he's saying it right.
Yeah, it's just
stuff.
they're all the same. You know what's even funnier? It's about half of them, like with well, not where they actually start, but the information before is unto the end. Like look at chapter of Psalm 10 unto the end, a Psalm of David. Chapter of Psalm 11 unto the end for the octave, and then look at Psalm 9 unto the end for blah blah, and then Psalm 8 unto the end blah. What does it even mean unto the end? Like in this.
Yes.
Yeah, good question. But what does it mean until
No, unto.
the end in the Bible?
Unto, not until.
Unto.
Until is, as far as I know, is like temporal. So it's like timing wise. I'm gonna be here until 10 o'clock or whatever. Your mom
Okay,
comes. And until is a location, like forward unto and wherever you're heading. But
yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Okay, so this is the first. I don't know. I guess I'm. This is what I wrote. What does it mean? Uno the end int he Bible. This is what I wrote into Google, and the first hit is gotquestions.org, and someone asked, "Does the Bible say the United Nations will have a role in the end times?"
Excuse
And the
me.
answer:
What?
Does the Bible say the United Nations will have a role in the end times? The answer is many believe the formation of the United Nations was a key development relating to biblical prophecy of the end times.
Yeah.
The United Nations is not mentioned by name in the Bible, neither is its predecessor, the League of Nations. Of course, that does not mean it is not symbolically suggested.
AKA, if you squint enough, anything is implied in the Bible. But yeah, because the Bible totally advocates for uniting nations and not for just killing any non-believers and just taking their land. Fuck off. That's all I have to say to whoever wrote that. Fuck off.
I think there could be something here. Oh, it should be noted that Jehovah's Witnesses were quick to denounce the formation of the League of Nations. In 1919, the second president of the Watchtower Society condemned both the League and any person who supported it.
I condemn
They did
League
the
as
same
well.
when the United Nations was created, passing a resolution condemning it in 1963. The Jehovah's Witnesses believe that the UN is the image of the beast of Revelation 13:1,
Well, we haven't read.
and the abomination of desolation mentioned in Matthew 24:15.
I haven't read either of those yet.
Although there is no clear hermeneutical evidence for either interpretation.
Okay,
Wow.
it's just bullshit. Source, I made it the fuck up.
I didn't know that. Jehovah's Witnesses condemn the United Nations because it's the image of the beast. Okay, well, that's interesting.
So we still don't know what the fuck the until the end means.
No, Sorry. On to the end in the Psalms. Now I wrote plans instead of Psalms.
Meaning.
What does on
No.
to the end in the Psalms mean?
I can't find anything, but feel free to continue research. It's not like there's going to be anything interesting happening anyway, so I will just continue. Psalm 11, Psalm 12, until the end. For the octave, Psalm of David. Save me, O Lord, because holiness has passed away, because truths have been diminished before the sons of men. They have been speaking emptiness, each one to his neighbor. They have been speaking with deceitful lips and a duplicitous heart. May the Lord scatter all deceitful lips, along with a tongue that speaks malice. They have said, we will magnify our tongue. Our lips belong to us. What is large to us? Because of the misery of the destitute and the groaning of the poor, now I will arise, says the Lord. I will place him in safety. I will act faithfully towards him. The eloquence of the Lord is pure eloquence. Silver tested by fire, purged from the earth, refined 7 times. You, O Lord, will preserve us, and you will guard us from this generation into eternity. The empires wander aimlessly. According to your loftiness, you have multiplied the sons of men. Psalm 12, Psalm 13, unto the end. A Psalm of David. How long, O Lord, will I slide? Okay, Teras not paying attention. Rip. Will you forget me until the end? How long will you turn your face away from me? How long can I take counsel in my soul, sorrowing in my heart throughout the day? How long will my enemy be exalted over me? Look upon me and listen to me, O Lord my Skytis. Enlighten my eyes, lest I fall asleep forever in death with one F. Lest at any time my enemy may say, I have prevailed against him. Those who trouble me will exult if I have been disturbed. But I have hoped in your mercy. My heart will exult in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, who assigns good things to me. And I will sing psalms to the name of the Lord Most High. This bird keeps itself in the air by sheer force of anger alone. 702, 24.7k, 49.5k. U/L_Ryuzaki_.
Why are you gay?
Why aren't you?
Why are you?
No, you. Why are you?
No. It's just what I do.
But it's not about what you do, it's about how you do.
Yes.
So how do you do?
Yes. No. Not allowed.
Oh.
Oh. Bad.
Well, so what now?
It's over. Question mark?
Who's over?
Well, you aren't.
I'm not over the Bible.
Ain't that just unfortunate?
Hey, Tor.
Yes.
How desperately would you like to continue?
What do you mean?
Teras wants to stop.
Okay.
Which
Well, that's fine.
means we would usually stop, but I have done him a few favors, so I have a few extra hours of Bible reading I could cash in if you wanted to continue reading. So I'll just leave it up to you.
Well, I could do it like another half an hour or something.
You have greatly upset Teras.
Yeah, I guess so.
Good job.
But it's fine. I'm fine with stopping now. Also,
I'm leaving it entirely up to you.
why?
Because it's your choice. That Teras wants to stop. I have the extra time that I could cash in at any point, so as long as I still have time, then I'll just leave it up to the guest if the guest wants to continue.
So you're going to force Teras to continue if I want to continue.
Basically, yeah.
That is how that works, yeah.
He's contractually obligated to.
Well, you are putting it on my conscience then to force Teras to.
So you're
You know how about
implying that you care about Teras' well-being or anything about him, or his feelings, or
I guess
the answer is no.
Well,
No. No, you
okay.
didn't.
I think maybe it would be good for you, Teras and Skytis, to get a few more psalms under the belt, just to feel like you have made some more progress before you end.
I hope you can see the upsetness in Teras' eyes. Because I can, and it brings me great joy.
You're officially 4th on my enemy list.
Well,
just pencil you in. Hold on.
Well, like I said, I could do like half an hour.
Yeah, half an hour it is. Sure.
Your mum's a half an hour.
Psalm 13. Psalm 14. Until the end, a psalm of David. The fool has said in his heart, there is no Skytis. They were corrupted, and they have become abominable in their studies. There is no one who does good. There is not even one. The Lord has looked down from heaven upon the sons of men to see if there were any who were considering or seeking Skytis. They have all gone astray. Together they have become useless, just like myself. There is no one who does good. There is not even one. Their throat is an open sepulchre. With their tongues they have been acting deceitfully. The venom of asps is under their lips. This would also work, I guess. Their mouth is full of curses and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Feet?
1 foot.
Grief and unhappiness are their ways, and the way of peace they have not known. There is no fear of Skytis before their eyes. They will never learn. All those who work iniquity, who devour my people like a meal of bread, they have not called upon the Lord. There, they have trembled in fear, where there was no fear. For the Lord is with the just generation. You have confounded the counsel of the needy, because the Lord is his hope. Who will grant the salvation of Glasgow from Zion? When the Lord turns away the captivity of his people, Jacob will exult, and Glasgow will rejoice.
No, not Glasgow.
Glasgow Burr. Psalm 14. Psalm 15. A psalm of David. O Lord, who will dwell in your Skytis tent? Or who will rest on your holy mountain? Ooh. He who walks without blemish and who works justice. He who speaks truth in his heart, who has not acted deceitfully with his tongue, and has not done evil to his neighbor, and has not taken up a reproach against his neighbors. In his sight, the malicious one has been reduced to nothing, but he glorifies those who fear the Lord. He who swears to his neighbor and does not receive. He who has not given his money in usury, nor accepted bribes against the innocent.
Your money.
He who does these things will be undisturbed for eternity. By these things we mean giving Teras all of your money. Psalm 15. Psalm 16. The inscription of a title of David himself. Preserve me, O Lord, because I have hoped in you. I have said to the Lord, you are my Skytis, so you have no need of my goodness. As for the saints who are in his land, he has made all my desires wonderful in them. Their infirmities have been multiplied. After this, they acted more quickly. I will not gather for their convocations of blood, nor will I remember their name with my lips. The Lord is the portion of my inheritance and my cup. It is you who will restore my inheritance to me. The lots, lowercase lots, have fallen upon me with clarity. And, indeed, my inheritance has been very clear to me. I will bless the Lord, who has bestowed understanding upon me. Moreover, my temperament has also corrected me, even through the night. I have made provision for the Lord always in my side, for he is at my right hand, so that I may not be disturbed. Because of this, my heart has been joyful, and my tongue has exulted. Moreover, even my body will rest in hope. But you will not abandon my soul to hell, nor will you allow your Holy One to see corruption. You have made known to me the ways of life. You will fill me with joy by your countenance. At your right hand are delights, even to the end. Interesting. This one didn't start with unto the end, but it ended with even to the end.
But this is good. Now you've done 1/10 of all the Psalms.
Psalm
So maybe this
speedrun
will be
any
quick.
percent,
Yes.
chapter skip.
Unless they start becoming much longer or something, but I don't think so.
Some of them are a little longer, but most of them are about this length.
Wow.
I wonder if it's just off by one because they had the 2 psalms. Is it always just going to be? It's literally just always off by one. Literally because they couldn't just do a separate chapter for that. All of the psalms are off by one. This is so fucking stupid.
But I'm not following. Why have they done that?
Because Psalm 9 had actually contained the chapter. Psalm 9 contained Psalm 9 and 10. So now they have to mention after each psalm chapter which actual psalm it is, like the number, how many psalm. And if you check, 145 contains 146, 146 contains 147a, 148 is 147 is 147b. Wait, what?
Yes.
46, 47a, and then 147b, and then 148 doesn't have a number, and neither does 149, 150. But this book is stupid. And by this book, I mean the Bible.
Nice. Good one.
When did you last sing a psalm? Like seriously, did you have things in school where you would sing a psalm or something like that?
No.
Thanks.
Never.
Literally your mum.
Well, I think maybe I'm misremembering, but I feel like I've sung some psalms at some point.
You're a song.
Sounds like child abuse.
Yeah. like we used to have. I think they still do in many places. When the last day of school before summer is usually there's usually a kind of like a ceremony in the church.
Okay.
I've never been to a church.
But I don't think you sing psalms there.
Imagine going to a church.
Dude,
I'm gonna go once again take a piss.
I should.
And this is even though we have the separation of church and state and everything, but
Teras
I guess it's tradition.
Teras should visit me at some point, and we should do an IRL stream where we go to a church.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a funeral or something like that. Do you sing psalms at a funeral?
No, I don't think so. But to be fair, I haven't been to many funerals.
No. I've been to a few, but I guess
When's yours?
soon, hopefully.
That's the spirit.
I guess they weren't overly. I'm trying to remember when I've been. I feel like I've been in church. Fuck it. I'll try to remember.
Psalm 16. Psalm 17. A prayer of David. Lord, listen to my justice. Attend to my supplication. Pay attention to my prayer, which is not from deceitful lips. Let my judgment proceed from your presence. Let your eyes behold fairness. You have tested my heart and visited it by night. You have examined me by fire, and iniquity has not been found in me. Therefore, may my mouth not speak the works of men. I have kept to difficult ways because of the word of your lips. Teras, I said, behold, fuck you.
Yeah, you did that.
Perfect my steps in your paths, so that my footsteps may not be disturbed. I have cried out because you, O skies, have listened to me. Incline your ear to me and heed my words. Make your mercies wonderful, for you save those who hope in you. From those who resist your right hand, preserve me like the pupil of your eye. Protect me under the shadow of your wings, from the face of the impious who have afflicted me. My enemies have surrounded my soul. They have concealed their fatness. Their mouth has been speaking arrogantly. They have cast me out, and now they have surrounded me. They have cast down They have cast their eyes down to earth. They have taken me like a lion ready for the prey, like a young lion dwelling in hiding. Rise up, O Lord, arrive before him and displace him. Deliver my soul from the impious one, your spear from the enemies of your hand. Lord, divide them from the few of the earth in their life. Their gut has been filled from your hidden stores. They have been filled with sons, and they have bequeathed to their little ones the remainder. But
bequeath you.
Or queef you. But as for me, I will appear before your sight in justice. I will be satisfied when your glory appears.
Ooh.
Psalm 17. Psalm 18. Unto the end. For David, the servant of the Lord, who spoke the words of this canticle of the Lord, in the day that the Lord delivered him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. And he said, I will love you, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my firmament, my refuge, my liberator. My Skytis is my helper, and I hope in him, my protector, and the horn of my salvation and my support. Praising, I will call upon the Lord. And I will be saved from my enemies. And the sorrows of death with one F surrounded me, and the torrents of iniquity dismayed me. The sorrows of hell encompassed me, and the snares of death with one F intercepted me. In my tribulation, I called upon the Lord, and I cried out to my Skytis, and he listened to my voice from his holy temple, and my cry in his presence entered into his ears. The earth was shaken, and it trembled. The foundations of the mountain were disturbed, and they were shaken, because he was angry with them. A smoke ascended by his wrath, and a fire flared up from his face. Coals were kindled by it. He bent the heavens, and they descended. A darkness was under his feet. And he ascends upon the cherubim, and he flew. He flew upon the feathers of the wind, and he set darkness as his hiding place, with his sky to stand all around him, dark waters in the clouds of the air. At the brightness that was before his sight, the clouds crossed by, with hail and coals of fire. As the Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice, hail and coals of fire. And he sent forth his arrows and scattered them. He multiplied lightnings and sent them in disarray. Then the fountains of waters appeared, and the foundations of the world were revealed, by your rebuke, O Lord, by the inspiration of the spirit of your wrath. He sent from on high, and he accepted me. He took me up out of many waters. He rescued me from my strongest enemies, and from those who hated me. For they had been too strong for me. They had intercepted me in my day of affliction, and the Lord became my protector. And he led me out into a wide place. He accomplished my salvation because he willed me. And the Lord will reward me according to my justice, and he will repay me according to the purity of my hands. For I have preserved the ways of the Lord, and I have not behaved impiously before my Skytis. For all his judgments are in my sight, and his judgment I have not pushed away from me. And I will be immaculate together with him, and I will keep myself from my iniquity. And the Lord will reward me according to my justice and according to the purity of my hands before his eyes. With the holy, you will be holy, and with the innocent, you will be innocent, and with the elect, you will be elect, and with the perverse, you will be perverse. For you will save the humble people, but you will bring down the eyes of the arrogant. For you illuminate my lamp, O Lord, my Skytis, and lighten my darkness. For in you I will be delivered from temptation, and with my Skytis I will climb over a wall. As for my Skytis, his way is undefiled. The eloquence of the Lord has been examined by fire. He is the protector of all who hope in him. For who is Skytis except the Lord? And who is Skytis except our Skytis? It is Skytis who has wrapped me with virtue and made my way immaculate. It is he who has perfected my feet like the feet of deer, and who stations me upon the heights. It is he who trains my hands for battle, and you have set my arms like a bow of brass. And you have given me the protection of your salvation. And your right hand sustains me, and your discipline has corrected me unto the end. And your discipline itself will teach me. You have expanded my footsteps under me, and my tracks have not been weakened. I will pursue my enemies and apprehend them, and I will not turn back until they have failed. I will break them, and they will not be able to stand. They will fall under my feet. And you have wrapped me with virtue for the battle, and those rising up against me you have subdued under me. And you have given the back of my enemies to me, and you have destroyed those who hated me. They cried out, but there was none to save them, to the Lord, but he did not heed. and I will crush them into dust before the face of the wind, so that I will obliterate them like the mud in the streets. You will rescue me from the contradictions of the people. You will set me at the head of the genitals. A people I did not know has served me. As soon as their ears heard, they were obedient to me. The sons of foreign...
Skatis.
No.
Why have you not replaced Gentiles with genitals?
Me, because that's not my job.
Yeah. No, but I'm just asking. Shouldn't that be a thing?
I told Teras multiple times, yet so far he has not done it.
Okay.
I still don't know what you're talking about. You're just talking shit.
Replace gentles with genitals.
No, that'd be silly.
Any counterpoint, Tor?
Cool.
The sons of foreigners have been deceitful for me. The sons of foreigners have grown weak with time, and they have wavered from their paths. The Lord lives, and blessed is my Skytis, and may the Skytis of my salvation be exalted. O Skytis, who vindicates me and who subdues the people under me, my liberator from my enraged enemies. And you will exalt me above those who rise up against me. From the iniquitous man, you will rescue me. Because of this, O Lord, I will confess to you amongst us, the nations, and I will compose a psalm to your name, magnifying the salvation of his king and showing mercy to David, his Christ, and to his offspring, even for all time. Well, there's a fucking long psalm.
Yeah. So that's my question. Do people actually like sing this shit?
Maybe it's more like battle rap.
But I guess they're talking about what I read was it's supposed to be like a hymn, and I guess when you heard some psalms sung, there it's more like a.
Isn't it funny that it is a hymn, but it can be heard?
But I mean, this one is so long. How could anyone? It has to go on for like 10 minutes.
I mean, if it depends, maybe it's done in double time,
I don't think so.
triple time.
But I googled what are the most popular psalms. We're coming up to a banger in Psalm 23. I don't know if we have time to reach there now, but Psalm 23 is supposed to be one of the most famous and popular
ones. Speed run enough? Maybe. You can also check on YouTube. Maybe somebody has sung it. Like, just check about Bible, Psalm, Sing, or something like that. That might answer your question.
Was this was 17.
Yeah. Maybe somebody has sung it.
Psalm
18. Psalm 19. Unto the end, a psalm of David. The heavens describe the glory of Skytis, and the firmament announces the work of his hands. Day proclaims the word to day. Night to night imparts knowledge. There are no speeches or conversations where their voices are not being heard. Their sound has gone forth through all the earth, and their words to the ends of the world. He has placed his Skytis tent in the sun, and he is like a bridegroom coming out of his bedroom. He is exalted like a giant running along the way.
Gonna groom you, eh?
No, you won't. His departure is from the summit of heaven, and his course reaches all the way to its summit. Neither is there anyone who can hide himself from his heat. The law of the Lord is immaculate, converting souls. The testimony of the Lord is faithful, providing wisdom to little ones. The justice of the Lord is right, rejoicing hearts. The precepts of the Lord are brilliant, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is holy, enduring for all generations. The judgments of the Lord are true, justified in themselves, desirable beyond gold and many precious stones, and sweeter than honey and the honeycomb. For indeed, your servant keeps them. In keeping them, there are many rewards. Who can understand transgression? From my hidden faults, cleanse me, O Lord, and from those of others, spare your servant. If they have no dominion over me, then I will be immaculate, and I will be cleansed from the mediocrest transgression, and the eloquence of my mouth will be so as to please, along with the meditation of my heart in your sight forever, O Lord, my helper and my redeemer. Did you find anything, Toa?
Well, I found this one is, but there's a couple of like short versions. This one is 2:55. Psalm 17 song, as for me. Psalm 17. It's, I don't know. It can't be the whole thing. You can't sing the whole thing in 3 minutes. So I guess they've shortened it or something.
Unless they're just singing really fast.
No, I don't think they are.
I mean, listen to it, I guess, to find out.
Well, I listened to this one. I'll post it in your Discord, I guess.
I'll check it after. Which one did you say? 23 is where we gotta get?
Well, 23 is supposed to be the one of the hits.
Yeah, well, that's Psalm 19, Psalm 20. Until the end, a psalm of David. May the Lord hear you in the day of tribulation. May the name of the skytis of Jacob protect you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and watch over you from Zion. May he be mindful of all your sacrifices, and may your burnt offerings be fed. May he grant to you according to your heart and confirm all your counsels. We will rejoice in your salvation, and in the name of our skytis we will be magnified. May the Lord fulfill all your petitions. Now I know that the Lord has saved his Christ. He will hear him from his holy heaven. The salvation of his right hand is in his power. Some trust in chariots, some in horses, but we will call upon the name of the Lord our skytis. They have been bound and they have fallen, but we have risen up and we have been set upright. O Lord, save the king and hear us on the day that we will call upon you. Psalm 20, Psalm 21. Until the end, a psalm of David. It's just every psalm by David or about David or from.
Yeah.
I guess he was really popular and into music. In your virtue, Lord, the king will rejoice, and over your salvation he will exult exceedingly. You have granted him the desire of his heart, and you have not cheated him of the wish of his lips. For you have gone ahead of him with blessings of sweetness. You have placed a crown of precious stones on his head. He petitioned you for life, and you have granted him length of days in the present time, and forever and ever. Mediocre is his glory in your salvation. Glory and mediocre adornment you will lay upon him, for you will give him as a blessing forever and ever. You will make him rejoice with gladness in your presence, because the king hopes in the Lord, and in the mercy of the Most High he will not be disturbed. May your hand be found by all your enemies. May your right hand discover all those who hate you. You will make them like an oven of fire in the time of your presence. The Lord will stir them up with his wrath, and fire will devour them. You will destroy their fruit from the earth and their offspring from the sons of men. For they have turned evils upon you. They have devised plans which they have not been able to accomplish. For you will make them turn their back. With your remnants you will prepare their countenance. Be exalted, Lord, by your own power. We will play music and sing psalms to your virtues. Psalm 21. Psalm 22. Unto the end. For the tasks of early morninging. A psalm of David. O skytis, my skytis, look upon me. Why have you forsaken me? Far from my salvation are the words of my offenses. My skytis, I will cry out by day, and you will not heed, and by night it will not be foolishness for me, but do dwell in holiness, O praise of Glasgow. In you our fathers have hoped. They hoped, and you freed them. They cried out to you, and they were saved. In you they hoped, and were not In you they hoped and were not confounded. But I am a worm and not a man, a disgrace amongst us men, and an outcast of the people. All those who saw me have derided me. Derided me, yeah.
Derided.
I think it's derided me, as in getting rid of.
No, I think it's derided.
I'll deride you.
How about you write me?
To insult someone.
Okay. All of those who saw me have derided me. They have spoken with the lips and shook the head. He has hoped in the Lord and let him rest, and he had hoped in the Lord, let him rescue him. Let him save him because he chooses him. For you are the one who has drawn me out of the womb, my hope from the Bristolians of my mother. Okay. I have been thrown upon you from the womb of my mother. You are my skytis. Do not depart from me, for tribulation is near, since there is no one who may help me. Many calves have surrounded me. Fat bulls have besieged me. They have opened their mouths over me, just like a lion seizing and roaring. And so I have been poured out like water, and all my bones have been scattered. My heart has become like wax, melting in the midst of my chest. My strength has dried up like clay, and my tongue has adhered to my jaws. And you have pulled me down into the dust of death with one F. For many dogs have surrounded me. The counsel of the malicious has besieged me. They have pierced my hands and my feet. They have numbered all my bones, and they have examined me and stared at me. They have divided my garments among them, and over my vestment they cast lowercase lots. But you, O Lord, do not take your help far from me. Be attentive to my defense. O Skytus, rescue my soul from the spear, and my only one from the hand of the dog. Save me from the mouth of the lion, and my
why does that sound a bit like Jesus?
Because he got stuff in
The
it.
whole cross and spear and all that shit.
No spoilers though. Save me from the mouth of the lion, and my humility from the horns of single-horned Bistonian. And my humility from the horns of single-horned Bistonian. Oh wait, no, I get it. Okay, yeah. I know why it sounds so weird. I will declare your name to my brothers. In the midst of the church, I will praise you. You who fear the Lord, praise him. All the offspring of Jacob glorify him. May all the offspring of Glasgow fear him, for he has neither spurned nor despised the pleas of the poor, neither has he turned his face away from me. And when I cried out to him, he heeded me. My praise is with you, within a mediocre church. I pay my vows in the sight of those who fear him. The poor will eat and be satisfied, and those who yearn for the Lord will praise him. Their hearts will live forever and ever. All the ends of the earth will remember, and they will be converted to the Lord. All the families of the Gentiles will adore in his sight. For the kingdom belongs to the Lord, and he will have dominion over the Gentiles. All of the fat of the earth have gnashed their teeth, and they have adored. In his sight they will fall down, all those who descend to the ground. And my soul will live for him, and my offspring will serve him. There will be announced for the Lord a future generation, and the heavens will announce his justice to a people who will be born, whom the Lord has made. Psalm 22. Psalm 23. At Psalms of David, the Lord directs me, and nothing will be lacking to me. He has settled me here, in a place of pasture. He has led me out to the water of refreshment. He has converted my soul. He has led me away on the paths of judgment for the sake of his name. For even if I should walk in the midst of the shadow of death with one F, I will fear no evils. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they have given me consolation. You have prepared a table in my sight, opposite those who trouble me. You have anointed my head with oil, and my cup which inebriates me, how brilliant it is. And your mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and so may I dwell in the house of the Lord for length of days. May I dwell in the house of the Lord for length of days.
But Skites, I think this is it, right? For even if I should walk in the midst of the shadow of death with one F, I will fear no evils. I mean that's the famous quote, right?
Is it?
For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they will give me consolation. So I think this is maybe.
I mean, it is Psalm number 23, so this might have been the one they referred to. I don't know if it was the chapter.
I guess maybe we'll see if there's more in the next one. But that's definitely a quote I recognize.
I don't. Here's something else I don't recognize: an exclamation mark. I'm genuinely not sure if we have seen a single.
Even if I should walk in the midst of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
I don't know that one, but maybe it is popular. I don't know.
Isn't there like a version with like I walk in the shadow of the valley of death or something like that?
No, that's the lyrics to a Hollywood Undead song.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll see if there's more in the.
It's actually a pretty alright song as well.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, there's an exclamation mark. I'm not sure if we've ever had one in the Bible so far. Like this one, actually, just as I was reading it, I already saw it as the corner of my eye, and I was like, something is weird. Something is broken or something. And then I got to it, and I was like, why is there an exclamation mark? Like that's how rare they are. It actually kind of threw me off in a subconscious, subtle way. Yeah, though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death. Yeah. I do something, pull the knife out of my chest. I don't remember the exact, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay. I guess one more, and then Teras gets to leave. Psalm 23. Psalm 24. For the first Sabbath, A Psalm of David. The earth and all its fullness belong to the Lord, the whole world and all that dwells in it. For he has founded it upon the seas, and he has prepared it upon the rivers. Who will ascend to the mountain of the Lord, and who will stand in his holy place? The innocent of hands and the clean of heart, who has not received his soul in vain, nor sworn deceitfully to his neighbor. He will receive a blessing from the Lord, and mercy from Skytis, his Savior. This is the generation that seeks him, that seeks the face of the Skytis of Jacob. Lift up your gates, you princes, and be lifted up, eternal gates. And the King of glory shall enter. Who is this King of glory? The Lord who
Me.
is... The end. The Lord who
Roll
is...
credits.
The Lord who is strong and powerful, the Lord powerful in battle. Lift up your gates, you princes, and be lifted up, eternal gates. And the King of glory shall enter. Who is this King of glory? You suck, Teras. The Lord of virtue. He himself is the King of glory.
Thanks.
Well, so if this is if 23, like the 23rd Psalm is the most popular one, then we're in for a not wild ride, for a fucking snooze fest, I guess.
Well, it's probably just it's short, so that helps it, and maybe it's like quotable. For even if I should walk in the midst of the shadow of death, I will fear no evils. Isn't that the one when you see like movies and they're going when you have like the death penalty in the American jails?
I don't know.
Then the priest reads the, I don't know, some things like that.
I'm not that educated on movies, to be honest.
Okay.
Hey, Teras,
Well,
you can insert your image now.
well,
Yeah, same.
well, I was a little bit excited by that because that's something I actually recognized for the first time in the Bible, I guess. Well, not in the first time, but. Moi mukulat Nargor.
By Nagor. And by Nagor, I guess. Teras has had enough suffering.
Yeah. To be honest, I suffered a bit as well the last half hour.
I'm literally just gonna try to speedrun this, because this is not gonna be fun. This is just gonna be stupid garbage.
I know where the Shadow of Valley thing is. Gangster's Paradise.
The song.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think
Like
it's
it's like a really popular song.
I mean, I know
yeah,
the song.
I
I'm trying
think-
to remember where he...
I think it's the kind of thing that's quoted probably in a lot of things, referenced.
Probably. It's literally the first line in the song as well.
I'm gonna play the thing that you sent for just a moment. I'm curious.
Here's the song lyrics.
Oh Lord, listen to my cry, give ear to my prayer, oh Lord, hear my own words from lips free
And you
of
recognize this song.
deceit.
Yeah.
This is where I recognized it from. A fucking rap song from a movie.
Isn't there like a Snoop song that also starts with something like a shadow?
From
Probably.
you let it fall, let my vindication come, let your eyes see what
I've been
is
blasting
right,
and laughing so
let
long,
your
my mouth
eyes
is- my mind is gone.
That is not
Yes.
Psalm 17, but okay. Well,
It's a really good song.
Bible sorting do be kind of weird, I guess. Okay, what the... Well, yeah, I guess it is referenced in a lot of places, so it is kind of popular. Still, I'm a little bummed out. If that is the most noteworthy thing about this book, then...
Well, I did search for like the five most or the most popular. So it's one of, but this one seems to be the most popular, I guess.
Yeah,
Or
so
at
so
least,
if
like,
even if the other ones are on a similar level, that's still kind of disappointing, because we have 150 psalms or chapters of psalms, I guess. So it's just gonna be a lot of
Downhill from now.
But
nothingness.
you know what the good thing is? I'm not going to be here for your next stream when you
No, that attitude.
continue to plow through these psalms.
Dude, I don't even know. I want guests to make this less miserable, but I also feel bad for dragging anyone into the Book of Psalms.
And maybe I'll be back once.
Maybe you need to start paying people to attend.
And with which money?
You can try to invite.
Well, I don't know, but once you find the money, pay me first.
No, we're definitely gonna have to get some people on and just get some tangents to make this more tenable.
I'm eating wafer rolls and I'm peeling the wafer off of them.
I know. I can see.
Great.
We've been doing that for quite a while now.
It's really entertaining.
Why has Cat Peasant not been on?
He's a peasant.
Cat Peasant, take some responsibility. Be a guest on the Bible show. Stop hiding from the truth.
I don't know, last time we had them on stream, he was very mean.
Was that a Sky quiz?
Yes.
Well, there's your answer.
Okay.
You know what? Since we're kind of done with the arena, I'll just quickly this one, yes. I'll just quickly fix something that's been bothering absolutely nobody except for myself. Still, I
am Satan. You did my job already. Okay. Why are you moving me?
I'm cropping it properly so there's no more random outline every time you speak. Nobody has noticed yet, but I have, and it's kind of bothering me.
I have as well, but it wasn't bothering me.
Yeah. Wow. Imagine not being bothered. You can't be Teras.
Probably some symbolism.
Okay, I'm gonna leave now because I need to go take a shit.
To be had from the lighting situation.
You kids have fun.
When I started, I was like light and bright, and now it's the darkness has descended upon me.
Go take your shit.
I'm gonna head out. Have fun.
No, you ruined Tor.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll leave too, so you can do your outro or something.
I mean, you can also stay. That's up to you. Also, for fuck's sake, I also need to recrop this at some point.
I think I'll just leave. But,
yeah. So feel free to. Thank you for your input.
Thank you for.
Nothing.
Well, I was going to say thank you for having me on, but it just sounds absurd, doesn't it?
Just do what Rob said. Like, he sounded off one episode with just, "Oh, I'm gonna leave. Thanks for nothing, guys." And then he literally just left right after saying that. Powerful message.
Well, thanks for nothing, guys.
There you go. He's a quick learner. Okay. Whew. Good. I'm not looking forward to more Bible, honestly. This is just like knowing that there's so many of these and there's just no chance of anything of substance. Yeah, so as I said, I'm just probably gonna try to speedrun read through this. Hope I don't trip over my words too much. I mean, the good thing is that I've practiced reading aloud quite a lot by now. I mean, I needed a bit to warm up this session because it's been a while, but I can read relatively fast, I would say. So, I mean, we got to when did Teras initially want to stop? Was it like a year? So we got from 14 to, so we got about 10 in half an hour. I mean, obviously the length is not entirely consistent, but that's, oh my god, I don't even want to know how many sessions that is.
Do you understand irony?
I don't. But if we get 10 songs per 30 minutes, that's just gonna be being awful, honestly. Yeah, this is gonna go on for multiple sessions. I'm not looking forward to this. Let me see who is live, who can be raided. Okay, well, I guess we'll go to Ryu. He's once again streaming. For anyone that's new here, yes, we do this basically pretty regularly. Like, not on a particular schedule, but roughly every 2 weeks. If you want, there's all the previous readings, almost all of them, on YouTube. They'll get published at some point. But if you want to catch up on the Bible, it's a lot though, if you want, but feel free to. It's on my YouTube channel. You look there. Or just join my Discord and hang out and talk about the Bible. We have a dedicated channel just for talking about Bible. And also, if you want to join as a guest at some point in the future, whether it's for the Book of Psalms to help us through this misery or for a more fun book, also just join the Discord and then grab yourself the role for Bible guests. You'll get access to a channel and we can just try to schedule a session. Other than that, I will be back on Monday, aka tomorrow. Basically in 1 hour 40 minutes ago. But tomorrow. Whatever that might be in your time zone. I will be continuing Grim Dawn, specifically the Reign of Terror mod, aka Diablo 2 in Grim Dawn. So if you're interested in that, come back tomorrow. Otherwise, come back for the weekend streams whenever. Just follow me and see when I'm live, or join Discord for notifications if you want. You'll have to manually turn them on though. Or follow the other channels that I have if you just want more gameplay with less talking.
Games.
I'm gonna leave. I don't have anything else to say. I guess I could tell you, we're raiding Ryu. If you don't know, he used to be a full-time streamer, Diablo 2 speedrunner mainly, also some other retro games. He has since retired as a streamer, but he's been doing some speedruns again in the recent days. So yeah, right now he's doing Diablo 2, any % Hell Barbarian, Players X speedrun. So if you're interested in that, join the raid. It is the original Diablo 2 with a lot of destruction though, but not resurrected. I think I've rambled for long enough. I'm gonna leave and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.